Flycatcher, aka Kai Cachadorian here, bringing it to you live at Ho'okipa Beach Park on the beautiful island of Maui in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is the 2017 IWT Finals. This is the Aloha Classic, longest standing wave event in professional windsurfing, at least on the wave side of things. Or is that Zilt? At any rate, this is also a PWA Tour qualifier. We've got some interesting integration here that was able to come to fruition in the final weeks leading up to the event. This is the IWT International Wave Sailing Tour, International Windsurfing Tour Finals. It's the final event of the year of their wave tour. And the PWA is going to use this as a qualifier for next year's 2018 season. More on that later. Conditions here are very borderline, actually. What we have is about 8 knots of southeasterly wind between east and southeast. The waves are what is keeping this in the conversation right now. Waves are looking pretty good. Every now and then there's like a 4-foot set that rolls in, maybe slightly bigger even. And while we have made the decision to go, Duncan Coombs has called the pro men and the pro women to go today. First possible start's going to be in about 10-15 minutes, and it is going to start with the pro women. And in the first heat of the pro women, it's Sarah Hauser, Bettina Gonzalez, Amanda Beenan, and Motoko Sato. That's a pretty stacked heat, actually. All 4 of those women, very, very good sailors here at Ho'okipa. If I understand correctly as well, that Duncan's going to call a 30-minute heat on this. So what we have is basically we're going to see how contestable it is. We've had at least 3 days of lay days here as the contest period started on Sunday. And we definitely didn't have any wind yesterday. Sunday, everything's had this sea breeze effect wind. Today's the windiest of that effect, though in a way it looked windier earlier. So you never really know what you're going to get here at Ho'okipa in these variable type of southeast days. But by definition, it's sailable, and we will find out just how contestable it is. Ladies first here, and going about it that way I think allows us to put the lighter sailors out, a little bit more of a graceful approach to this. I went out for about 15 minutes, caught 1 wave and came in. I was on a 87 leader board and a 5.3. My teammate Camille Jubon was out for a little while. He caught a bunch of waves, but it was more of the situation of being in the right spot than it was going out and catching waves. You can't really sail to the outside right now and catch waves. You have to stay in the impact zone proper. You have to stay there and troll on the inside for sets. And since it's not really that big, it enables you to do that. Normally in a bigger surf situation, you'd be getting picked off with that type of approach. Today allows you to at least hang in the impact zone a little bit. Essentially what we'll show you the lineup in a second here once we get a secondary shot going, and it'll describe it to you pretty accurately in terms of what the sailors are looking at here. Anyway, I'm kind of just looking at this through my own eyes here, knowing that I gave it a shot for a little while and discussing this, you know, would we be sailing right now? There'd be a couple people out there trying, for sure. There could be a small crowd of people trying. It's not just the competition that's getting people out there. Maybe we can get a camera angle to show the lineup really quickly, if possible. There we go. Okay, so what you're looking at there is actually Victor Fernandez, who's here with a number of the other top PWA riders because they love coming to Maui and sailing. This isn't exclusive to just competition here. It's not my understanding that Victor's doing the event. I know Philip Koster's here on the island too. I don't think he's doing the event. Brazinho's out there as well. He's not on your screen, but that's Victor, who is runner-up on the PWA Tour this year. The tour champion is Philip Koster, who sealed the deal in Zilt earlier in October, in what actually ended up being a really epic contest there. The IWT's had a very interesting, unique year. They've gone to Morocco, they've gone to Baja, Pistol River, Chile, Peru. You know, finally had an event at Matanzas in Chile, paying pretty close attention to the things happening there because it's the first time there's been an event there. They've been doing Pacusmayo in Peru for quite some time. And there has been some pretty nice bright spots. Baja was a little bit of a near miss with the conditions. They had wind and really good waves right before the event window. As you see, Victor Fernandez pumping to get on this wave, and that kind of shows you what we've got. He's got to at least be on a 5.3, if not slightly bigger. And you know, with a turn like that, you can see that that was more riding the board than using the wind. If it's a situation where you can get a bunch of waves like that, that's one thing. But right now, even with the best sailors in the world, you're catching something like about one wave every 10 to 12 minutes. Something like that. Check, check. All right, keep it on this angle here. And outside you have a mix of free sailors and contest sailors going. Up and riding on this one, that looks like Moritz Mount. He is doing the event, and he kind of comes a little bit more from the PWA background. Moritz has actually been on Maui for a little while here as he cracks that lip. Possibly one of the better rides you've seen since we've been watching. And he rips it off the screen, and this is my good friend Drew Farrier, who's got nothing to do with the event, but he's a Ho'okipa local, and he rips. There goes Drew. Up and riding on this one, two-time Aloha Classic event winner Morgan Noiro. It's a high line snap on We're getting ready for this heat. And joining me here is Rob Funk.
Hi there, folks.
Get in the picture, Rob.
Get in here.
All right. And with that in mind, gosh, a year goes by quickly. I thought we were up here like last month.
Exactly.
No kidding. Anyway, take me through what you see out here right now.
Well, I see marginal conditions at this point. We're going to see a lot. We've had the guys that were out just on a free sail, and even people like Morgan Noiro, they're catching 2 or 3 waves in a long period of time, but they were getting their waves enough to run the heat. So this is why we're running this heat now. We're going to pretty much lay into it.
Yeah, I mean, you're being really proactive in that approach of trying to do a heat here. We've been, 2-3 lay days into this, so This is the first day we've seen a whitecap on the North Shore of Maui for a little while, and it's just a little bit more than yesterday at this point. What we're going to try here is a 30-minute, 4-person women's heat. Once again, it's Sarah Hauser, Bettina Gonzalez, Amanda Beenan, and Motoko Sato coming right up here at the 2017 Aloha Classic. Let's go through our list of sponsors here, Rob. Our primary sponsors, Maui County, Eternal Riders, and Dakine. And thank you very much, all three of you, for chipping in to this very worthy cause. And thank you for allowing the traditional Aloha Classic to continue. Other local sponsors include Cafe Mambo, Casanova, Deep Relief, Kuau Store, North Shore Maui Rent-A-Car, Rock and Brews, Chinook, Mama's Fish House, Nalukai Lodge, which I will be elaborating greatly on. Just took a great tour of about 300 acres of prime Maui real estate, which will be the Nalukai Lodge development. Amazing. Tour sponsors for the IWT: Ezzy, Hot Sails, iWindsurf, Nash, Pritchard Windsurfing, Ronston, Sign Solutions, Simmer Style, Solo Sports, Streamlined, Windsurfing Now, and Wind and Waves. So it's a pretty nice, healthy list of sponsor support there. You know, thank you once again, everybody, for chipping in to make this happen. Okay. Okay, we're going to go red flag up in just over a minute here, which is going to start the countdown sequence. I see Sarah Hauser's in the lineup. I see Motoko Sato's in the lineup, and I do see Beenan. So Sarah Hauser is in a blue simmer, Beenan in a pink and clear hot sail, Motoko Sato in a blue and red Severn, and that will get it started once we can see the lineup here. Anyway, we're going to give this a try. And we've got a good crew of sailors to give that shot to. I agree with the decision to give something of a try on this. I'll keep my predictions down to a minimum, but the show's about to start here, and thank you for all of you who are chiming in far away here at 2 in the morning Europe time, roughly. We'll do our best to bring this rather slow start to the competition, at least bring some action to you. We've got ace pilot Jake Miller and his drone. 2-minute transition. And here we go. I'm pretty excited, Rob. I mean, all of a sudden you blow that horn and it's a different story, isn't it?
Changes the personality of the whole place right now, really instantly. It really did. As the wind kind of backed off at the same time when the horn went on.
I was going to say that too, but you beat me to it.
I dropped in on your wave?
No, all good, all good. You're looking at Sarah Hauser in your right corner there on the blue simmer style sail. Whoa, that guy just got shacked. What? I wonder where we'd score that. Shows you how good the waves are, and guys are out there getting barreled. It's awesome. All right, Fernandez coming in on his 5.3 North Sail Rig Fanatic board combo. E42. Gnarly competitor. I think he's just here to cruise it, though. Celebrate his runner-up spot for the year on the PWA Tour. Big shredding. Certainly give us a tweet here at internationalwindsurfing.tour.com if we're coming through live here. Dr. Drew Farr, you're getting another one before he gets booted from the lineup. Yeah, Rob, I agree. The wind, as if on cue, just dropped out right when that horn started, but we're still in the transition period. Absolutely still going to try to run this. It's the question of what we're going to have to work with here, but we're going to give it a try.
Start of the heat.
That is the start of the heat. I almost thought they just canceled it, but they're going to actually start it. And that is one of the Walsh brothers. I think that's DK right there riding the ski. Or is it Sean? One of the two. They're twins.
We know it's not Ian.
Right. Ian's at home. Just won the PIE Challenge. Kept the title here on Maui. What's up again? Flycatcher here at Ho'okipa Beach Park with my favorite Dodger fan, Rob Funk. Game 7 coming up, buddy. We won't talk baseball, but that's awesome. I'm happy for you. You know, this is what we do here. We're going to try and make something happen first chance we get. It's a long waiting period, but you never really want to just, you know, bank on the future. You've got what you got in front of you. I totally agree with Duncan here. We'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. Fire up this live cast and make sure everything's working. At any rate, we don't have any scores up yet, but the heat started. You know, give it about 30 minutes in this, and we'll probably know what we have to work with here. It's definitely on the light side. Once you remove all the people warming up, it kind of throws things into perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. You see, it wasn't just because of the competitors that are out there now. It's just because the whole wind thing just totally dropped on us. So what was you were seeing before, if they were showing up prior to the beginning of the heat, yeah, there was a little bit more wind, but here we are now.
Here we are now, but as if on cue, you're going to get these slightly windier moments. If we can maybe pan out back to the lineup and take a look at what's setting up here. Great. Thank you for doing that. This is actually the action that we want here. And Amanda Beenan trying to pump into this. There's a wave behind her. This is kind of the chess match here. Motoko Sato, those are your four sailors right there. There's Motoko Sato upwind who actually gets this wave. Is she going to ride it? She's going to make the decision to ride this wave. Motoko Sato from Japan. Former Hokipa event winner, I might add. And it closes out on her as we look outside. And there's Amanda Beenan. Slides into this set wave. Kind of a sly trick there. Gets in early, but the wave grows fat on her as well. And outside of Amanda, upwind of her is Sarah Hauser in your background. Great job, boys. That's how you want to do it. Here goes Hauser, highlining it on her taboo board. Decides the kickout's probably the safer, smart move, self-preservation based call there. You know, like Motoko and Amanda definitely got their opening scores. I'll give you that. Sarah's going to have to try and scrape out there and do a little bit more than just a trim and a kick out. But that exchange was the following, is that Motoko actually got that first wave, which might have offered one of the more primary scoring opportunities. Amanda and Sarah were both kind of jockeying for it. I think Sarah kicked out, seeing that Amanda might have been in the better spot, or maybe just Sarah felt the third wave was better. Amanda, I think, kind of had the best exchange out of anybody on that. It's a great start for Beenan, who's coming back from a really bad knee injury, and really happy to see her back in the water, as I'm sure everybody back home cheering her on here. You know, it's everything to be able to get back from injury and then get back into competition where, you know, you're really trying to get to that point where you're one of the contenders, and that's exactly where Amanda Beenan is at. Certainly one of the better women sailors here, and coming back from an injury, you know, you don't want to take too long to dust off the rust. Yeah,
I agree. It's like she's come back really well. She's been back in the water for about a month or so. We've had some good conditions, and she started out slow, but as she got more, I guess, getting her rhythm back, her muscle memory was coming back, and she's been sailing really, really good.
Okay, you're looking at what must be Bettina Gonzalez on the Goya rig, but outside of her is Sarah Hauser, bottom turning on a nice one. And that's the Sarah Hauser turn that I can remember, and like sly little carvy yet critical. Sarah goes critical, but she's so stylish that it kind of masks how critical she can go. She rides smaller boards than most of the girls, and it allows her to position much more critically. But Sarah, you know, that wasn't one of the bigger waves of the set, but I think she just wanted to get her opening score up. You look at her competitors. There's Amanda Beenan swimming in the rip in front of the rocks. Sets are coming in. You know, these women have been very patient. They get put in this position a lot, Rob.
They really do, and it's kind of a, you know, there are guinea pigs for the beginning of the heat, which kind of is a sad way to say it, but they're the smallest, they're lighter than us, and so it gets us all going. You know, they're the one that motivate us for the start of the heats.
Okay, you can check the live scoring, and right now we have yet to update these scores, really. I think they have yet to give Sarah Hauser her score. Beenan got a 3.33 for her wave, and Motoko Sato actually with the better exchange there, 4.67. Perhaps those critical turns for Sato, even if the wave wasn't bigger. allowed the judges to reward her for that. And I agree with that. I think Sato did really get a good high line snap on that. What's playing out right now is that Sarah Hauser, after riding her opening ride, we don't know the score just yet, but she's headed out. And what that means is you look at Sarah Hauser on the Simmer Black tip there. I believe she's on a 4.2. It's just about the biggest sail Sarah ever uses. And she's heading out first. So she's got a wave under her belt. We have yet to see the score for it. And if you want to check the live scores, check this address out. It's ridescoremobile.com or internationalwindsurfingtour.com. You'll have your live scores. Again, ridescoremobile.com or internationalwindsurfingtour.com for your live scoring. Thank you for your patience as we work the bugs out here on the live cast. This is day one of competition here. And what has happened now is that Sarah Hauser has moved into second. 4.07 for that turn really gave her a nice spot to be in. And what you see also on your screen, Sarah Hauser is on another wave. Has pumped herself on. Sarah's been working it. Deep to peak. Samantha Campbell training her, and it is paying off. Look at Sarah Hauser off the bottom there. Great turn from Hauser. Lip slide, loses it on the cutback. A little bit of a gasp from the crowd. But look, man, like that was a critical turn, Rob.
That was a wave scoring hit right there.
It's really too bad she didn't make it because that could have likely been the high score of the heat. As it stands, it's going to be a second score. It's not just going to be a 0. Okay, Motoko Sato hasn't gotten her second score yet. And there's no action in the lineup other than what you just saw there with Sarah cleverly going about that. You see Motoko Sato on your screen. She's in first and ahead by 0.93, so almost a point. Sarah Hauser in second. And actually, as a result of that second score, Sarah Hauser has squeaked into first place here. So now it's Sarah in first and Motoko in second. Amanda is still in third. Bettina doesn't really get a score for getting cleaned by that whitewater. In fact, she is not even in the lineup right now. Bettina Gonzalez might have just said this is not happening. Well, she's upwind. Okay, never mind. Bettina Gonzalez is in the lineup, but she's nowhere near scoring position. What you have going outside there is anyway. Flycatcher and Rob Funk dusting off the rust here. 2017 Aloha Classic. It's great to be back. Great to be on the island of Maui. Big shout outs to my wife and kids back in Finland and all our friends watching worldwide. And thank you for your support and your kind words about the commentary, and just enjoy the show here. We've got a great forecast, Rob. This isn't going to be what it's like the whole time. We're just trying to get started here. But we have got a good forecast by any standards. There's going to be plenty of wind in it. We got a couple different swells lined up. I'm very confident we're going to complete all the brackets. This is just the beginning, so we're not going to hold it into some critical standard where we've got to get done with everything. I do agree with Duncan. You know, let's get started off here. Let's, you know, get the ball rolling. These girls are getting scores. You know, if things continue in this manner, I could see this heat counting and us moving into that second women's heat. Rob, what do you think?
I fully agree that I'm sure this heat will count. We got still over 20 minutes left in this heat. So you look at it, the girls are trying to get back upwind, which isn't easy, especially when you're on the downwind side of the channel. So that's what was smart about Sarah, how she took that one wave in the channel, moved it upwind so she could get to the peak and drop in and go. And that's how she got her second score.
That's the cycle. And you get the cycle, you get to be on a little conveyor belt out there, using the current to your advantage and absolutely doing everything you can to stay in scoring position. Motoko Sato pumps on to what is going to be a very nice looking wave. Motoko Sato, dangerous, dangerous competitor. Former Okipa event winner, as I said. And this is going to be a very good scoring wave if she can complete the ride. It's a nice highline snap, but this is the situation. The wind is so light that if you even rely at all on the wind for your wave ride, apparent wind or otherwise, you're probably going to go down. Sarah had that super sharp cutback. On a windy day, she's probably going to stick that because she's going to be able to hang on to her sail and it's going to levitate her The second you lean back and you don't have it, curtains. As Brian Talma would say, tears. Well, anyway, this is also the, we're running a dingle format in this, which is different than just an elimination ladder. Nobody is eliminated in this heat. And that's kind of the fundamental difference here between those two, is that there's going to be multiple rounds, but this first round's not an elimination round. It's kind of more like you get your seeding place. If you win your first heat, you're going to be seeded through the next round, and the other people placing are going to be in the second round, which will be an elimination round. I believe that's basically the brief on how that works. As we look at Sarah Hauser, and she's going to tack and put herself in a really, really good spot if she can manage to pump onto this wave, which it looks like she's actually going to be able to do. Go, Sarah, go. No, not quite. And it's like you can only pump enough to get moving, but no pumping in the world would have gotten her on that wave. It looked like it was about to be a better wave than it ended up being. That was kind of fool's gold.
Chasing down a lip that disappeared on you. It's almost like when you want to take off on a day like today, it's almost like Kai, you were saying earlier, surfing. You got to sit in the pit and let the wave lift you up, and just like surfing, dropping in on a wave. You
can't sail out too far to expect to get a wave. You got to play it like a surfer and stay within the semicircle of the impact zone, and that's going to allow you to let the wave lift you up and put you in. And it's really the waves doing more of the work than the wind today, guys, and that's going to be the fundamental theory all day here. We'll see what Judge Duncan Coombs really thinks about what he's seeing here in these next couple of heats. You know, we'll be deciding if we do go into the pro men or not. And I don't think we've made that decision yet. We're going to keep watching these women's heats. We're going to keep plugging away at the scores. And as you watch Sarah Hauser on the right-hand part of your screen, there's a little more upwind now, a little bit closer to the peak, and she is probably going to get this one. Just misses it. It's like 5 to 6 knots, you guys. It's not that windy, and we just need to hang on tight here. Be patient. The thing about Sarah's situation, the way she's playing it, she's kind of like trying to get into a couple and then turn around, kick out. This is going to be a wave she can catch, but she's not going to want it. It just means that if she drops in on that, she's going to have a lot more work to do to get back out and actually get a good score. And the thing that's also really apparent by Sarah's decision to kick out there, it really put her in the sweet spot in the lineup. Yeah. Because now she can get the waves, she can get under the sets.
You know what, you're right. She's so much more patient because she's staying upwind. She doesn't need those small little scores. That would have kicked, that last wave was a closeout anyway. So she's back outside in a really good position by playing it smart and patient.
Exactly. Tactics plays really big role in this. You've got to know the lineup. You also got to treat it like a surfer. Surfers like to sit under waves. You don't want to sit too far outside and chip in on some big longboard. You know, you want to be ripping the waves. Excuse me. And if that's the case, then you have to kind of let them come to you. You've got to be in a position to have them come to you.
And we now got Motoko setting up for a wave.
There's Motoko on the top of the wave. Take it away, Rob.
And she's dropping in. She's got to chase the corner, and she's probably not going to make it, and she didn't. And that's where, in my opinion, if she maybe taken right when she got on the wave a higher line to get her speed, this is where your surfing background comes in. You stay higher on the line, use the board more than you're really using the sail. Does that make sense?
That's absolutely the name of the game today, Rob. You know, not even just the high line, but just the riding the board. I totally agree with that assessment. The conditions right now are just plain difficult. It's important that we're in a situation where we can separate the riders. This is really the key to the whole thing right now and the integrity of the event as we've started it right now. I mean, Bettina Gonzalez aside, who's barely been able to pull a water start, this is a foreign situation to her. And I give her all the credit in the world for trying. But it's not easy, you guys. It's just like super, super technical. Sarah's playing a really smart game. She's valuing position over just whatever wave she can or can't ride. She knows she's in the best spot. As you watch Mr. Walsh on the jet ski, thank you again, Walsh Brothers, for providing top-notch water safety. Can't tell you how important it is. All the years I've competed at Okipa and didn't have water safety to now have it, it's really, really a blessing, and we thank you guys a lot for your hard work. It's really important to have. Anyway, there's Sarah Hauser, and talking about position and her position in this heat. And essentially, still in second, needs a 1.84 to get into first. So Motoko Sato's ahead, not too comfortably, but, you know, there. It's basically, you know, it's a score away from any of these. I mean, Bettina, unfortunately, is really not in this heat. She has no scores right now. And you don't get scored for water starting. So, basically, Amanda Beenan sitting on 1-3. Sarah's got a 4 and a 1. Motoko's got a 5 and a 1. That's your breakdown. Sarah knows this and is going to play this basically with a very high standard. She's not going to go on a crappy little 1-footer. She's going to want to get a good size wave and play it. According to my watch, we're nearly 20 minutes into this heat, so there's probably about 10 to 12 minutes left to go. 13 minutes and change. As Sarah Hauser just carefully jibes, getting herself back into the lineup. And pretty consistently, you know, guys, it's a cat and mouse game here. It's a situation where the waves aren't there all the time, but when they're there, you have to be in the right spot. And that's the number one thing. You know, if you had all the mobility in the world, this happens in the windy heats. We actually have the mobility to get away from the wave. This is actually one of the situations, you know where the wave's going to break. You just have to get there. There's a lot of current on the outside, and it doesn't really allow you to get and hold into that spot. So Sarah, where she is right now, has a huge advantage. The waves aren't really providing her the opportunities, though. So as long as she's really patient, there should be an opportunity. And that's basically it. I mean, Rob, you're looking down at Bettina kind of like she's sitting in front of the rocks.
She's in irons.
Yeah. Ugh. I've been there. We've all been there.
We've all been there.
And it's just when you're there in a heat, you know, you kind of like, you're looking around like, why me? And no answer to that, really, because it's basically you just ended up there. Hokipa decides all on its own where you're going to end up some of these times. And
she's getting a good view of everyone else sitting outside not doing much better, but they're at least standing up.
Exactly. All right, moving right along here and checking this lineup. It's just cat and mouse. It's this fine little chess match going on. And Sarah's just kind of playing this, you know, to the fact that she knows she's in a good position to advance in first. She might or might not know she's in first or not, but she knows the score, basically. And what you're seeing in the lineup here is you see Amanda Beenan jibing. And essentially, Amanda Beenan's kind of on the lower perimeter of our four competitors. And Sarah's kind of in the upper quadrant. Now, Sarah, you know, she's off the screen just to your right, but you see the person sailing out is Amanda Beenan and a few of our competitors from our next heat. So as we go along here, time will become a factor, but right now it's not. Right now, there's plenty of time for all four of these sailors to get back into this. Sarah Hauser, sponsored by Dakine, Simmer Style, Taboo, and Streamlined. And there's another sponsor that I want to talk about, but I can't pronounce it yet. Okay, Sarah Hauser on a wave, once again kicking out. You know, you're at that point right now if you're Sarah Hauser where you want to stay in your spot. You don't want to just go on some crappy little 1-footer. Checks her watch, knows the game. Sarah is totally capable of winning this event and very, very, very nearly did it last year. She was the winner in the single elimination, and nobody questioned that whatsoever. Everybody knows she's got enough skill to win this event, and it's just a question of, in a situation like this, holding water and getting into the next round with a little bit of momentum. And what's happening here, and what I can see on the outside, Rob, is that Sarah's on the inside now, sailing out. To your upper right-hand corner is a non-competitor in the seat. But below Sarah is Amanda Beenan, who's just pumping right now and can't catch it. Sarah Hauser sees this and has turned around and is in a great position now to catch this wave, which is actually the first wave of a 3-wave set. Here goes Sarah Hauser. She's got it. This is the best wave of her heat so far. High lines it down towards the point. Punches that smooth bottom turns of hers and just ran out of momentum. Hit the ghost bump. Groans from the judges who felt like rewarding her. She just needed to hold it together there. And it's hard to do because guess what? There's barely any wind. Well, Rob, this has not necessarily progressed into better wind. Give me your take on the actual conditions we have.
Well, I think it's looking very dismal, if you want my personal opinion, and well, you just got it. But the thing is, it's there. It looks like a cemetery out there. Sails are just standing up like a tombstone.
Sails are standing up like tombstones. How's that analogy? As we have Sarah Hauser back up on a wave. And that's a closeout. Well, anyway, look, this is a long heat for a reason, but what we're seeing throughout the scope of this long heat is it's going through that whole gamut of fairly saleable, kind of contestable, to not saleable. And while it's still saleable right now, it's on that lower end of saleable. It's really super light. It's like barely water startable. If you fall, you've got to do that tricky little water start where you grab the foot of your sail and skizzle up. And at this point, if I was Duncan Coombs, I'd be taking a real close look at this. We want to put a good product out there for you guys, and we want this to be good entertainment. And these are some of the best wave sailors in the world. So if they're going to be able to make it look good, these are the ones who can do it. And so what we have right now is kind of one of those down moments in the whole scheme of things with 8 minutes to go. So there's still time, and that's the whole theory here. Is as long as you got time, you can make it through these moments. That's why we have long heats.
Do you have a wave count?
I don't. Let me get back up there. I only have the wave count based on what scores are counting.
Oh, okay.
So poor Bettina Gonzalez, no scores, though she did make it out. Sarah Hauser's got 2 scoring waves. It's a 4.17 and a 1. And again, Motoko Sato with a 5 and a 1. So she's ahead by 0.83. It's very close between Hauser and Sato. Not the first time they've done battle, I don't think. You saw that they really rewarded Motoko Sato for that one snap she did. I remember a heat between Fiona Wilde and Ibaya Moreno that went that way as well. We all, thought Fiona had this much better wave, but the reality is Ibaya slashed it hard. Full rail turn. Big display of power there. So what it amounted to is I think the judges reward hard sailing. Position's important, wave size is important, but what you do on it's really important. And here comes Amanda Beenan, a little lower on your screen there. And she's setting up for this. This is a really super nice wave, you guys. Amanda Beenan, off the bottom. Here she goes. She's going down the line. H. Poco Point. There's barely any wind in her sail whatsoever. And it was all she could do to just sheet in and not even make anything happen. Poor Amanda. So the wave really wanted to be ripped, and she's just kind of going, shruck. Anyway, there's some more waves coming in. There's going to be some more scoring opportunities, but the wind has definitely gotten lighter. And that wave of Amanda's was not her fault. She did everything right. She pointed it down the coast she was going. And the wind just took it from her. Outside, Motoko Sato setting up. And here she goes. She's going to go kind of around the first part of this section, so she guarantees she's going to make this wave. Very smart sailing from Motoko. Even from that fall, what happened there was that she was able to get that turn. She went a little bit ahead of the wave at first to ensure that she got to the point where she could actually get a score. That's going to be a decent backup score. That's going to be better than a 1. It's going to pretty much firmly entrench her into the lead here. And we're live. Rob Funk, take it away. What do you think here?
Well, what I'm thinking is I would be interested to hear what Duncan has to say for the next heat. And then, as we can see, the wind line is even moving out further. So I'm still saying we're pretty much at the same level at dismal. And I'm sorry about that, but we just wish we could have better conditions. But hey, the girls get so much credit because they're out there. And on a day, normally on a day, free sailing day, you'd probably see another 10, 15 people out too, even though it's that light.
Yeah. Girls get a lot of credit. Sarah Hauser definitely looking at a situation, kind of looking up at Motoko Sato here. Amanda Beenan wanted to get into the mix, but the wind just kind of canceled those plans. And unfortunately for her, it's just now time does become a factor a little bit. What are you going to be able to do about the time? Well, you got to make the most of your opportunities here. And there is a setting up here. There's definitely a little stack coming here on the outside. So let's bring it to you. Sarah Hauser setting up for a wave here. And there we go. Sarah Hauser from Kuau by way of New Caledonia kicks out of the first one and saw the second one. This is a wise move by Sarah. Can she stay? No, she's just tacking out of there. And that's, you know, a little bit more of a survival tactic than anything else. Okay, Sarah got out of that first wave, sailed over the second one, and now jibed on this one. Is a nice offering at the point. But I don't think she found herself in a preferable position there, and she kicks out. And on our clocks here, we've got 3 minutes, and it's 4 minutes left, essentially. So this is kind of the crux moment of the heat, both in terms of who's contending for it and really what the product that we have put forward here. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We're working out the bugs here, both on and off the water. And it's definitely now Motoko Sato pretty squarely in the lead. Her third wave's a 3.17. Sarah's third wave's a 0.67. So it's pretty much the same thing for Hauser. 5.17 total, 8.17 total for Motoko Sato. She's a full 3 points ahead. Amanda Beenan ended up with a 0.67 for that wave that kind of outraced her. And unfortunately, that was, like I said, it was really not her fault. She got on that wave and the wind just went, nah.
Oh, but the good thing is that she didn't straighten out and come in on that wave. She rode what she could. She milked it.
She milked it down to the point. It put her in the position she's in now. It's just, you know, the thing opened up for her. You were like, okay, she's going to slash this puppy. And it just went, nah. Kind of an anticlimactic situation. I couldn't even get excited and raise my voice. I've kind of been at this like stage where I really want to get amped up. And what we're just experiencing is what I feel the whole theory of this entire contest is going to be a kind of a trajectory that starts slow and goes to a fever pitch. Let's pan outside here because Sarah Hauser has a really nice wave. There she is. Here goes Sarah Hauser in a big moment in this heat because she can put a good score together here. It's going to really help her. That's classic Sarah Hauser. High line with this great bottom turn right up into the lip. And just not enough wind to finish the job. But you know what? That was still probably her second best wave ride. So I think she's going to better a 1. That's just my opinion. I won't talk scores.
It almost looked like she was trying to kick out of the wave at the last second. But, you know, she still hit the lip going out. And that's going to really help her. Yeah, it's going to one-up her other score.
Yeah. I don't think it puts her in the lead, though. And I'll just say that because Motoko did, you know, comparatively speaking, the second score on that was a little stronger of a wave ride. Motoko Sato's a really seasoned competitor. I believe her first Okipa win was somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 years ago. Somewhere in the mid-90s, maybe a little more recently.
No, it was more. It's within the last 15 years, I would
say. Last 15. Round that up to 20, really. But point being that, you know, she knows she's won here. And Sarah's been right at the top echelon, too. Amanda Beenan, somebody who's trying to scrape their way into contender status, which she's done. I mean, Amanda's, you know, a really good wave ride away from you know, stealing Hauser's spot here. Sarah's got to be careful. It can happen. But Sarah's also very good at, you know, finishing heats, getting into a situation where things kind of get into a point where you're able to throw contention status. Anyway, time check here. Oh, this is 30 seconds. So this is really the end of the heat now. And Amanda kind of just out of nowhere getting a couple turns on this. Managing not to pearl. Very commendable in that situation. And that's probably going to be Amanda's final score. Motoko's kind of scraping the barrel here, trying to see what's possible on that end of things.
To be honest with you, I think that might be Amanda's best score.
Based on the way she rode it, yeah. Maybe not on the size of the wave aspect, but certainly that she rode it aggressively. Here's Motoko Sato, knowing that this is the end of the heat now. We're 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And that's the end of the heat. And I think we're moving right along into Heat 2. Tatiana Howard, Fiona Wilde, Ingrid LaRouche, and Serena Zoya. That's a stacked heat as well. No easy heats in this first round, and no easy situations when you're sailing in 5 to 8 knots of wind with some firing 4-footers. I think we are going to turn to commercial here briefly, if I'm not mistaken. It's just hyper light.
Yeah.
I mean, they're running the one. Sarah had a little lane. Are you? I'm in the first person. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're just going to stay with one or not. Duncan has sent me out in less.
How long are the
Half an hour. Meet my good friend Francisco Porchella. Hasn't been windsurfing a whole ton lately, but boy, you've been riding some monster waves, buddy, and I want to give you a huge shout out for all the things you've done. You won the XXL biggest wave last year. You're an all-time shredder, bro. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
It's a pleasure to be here, Kai. It's always a pleasure to actually be here at Ho'okipa as well and look at some fun little waves. Yeah, I haven't been windsurfing that much, but I still love it, and you know, mixed with windsurfing and kiting and surfing, I think it's kind of what I want to keep doing and probably get out there a little bit more, that's for sure.
Let's get you out there. You know, multi-sport guy, just like this hat here, Paradigm Lost, Kai Lenny movie.
Yeah.
You do it all. You're going to be SUP, surfing, windsurfing, surfing, foiling, underwater rollerblading, you know, everything, right? Body surfing, body womping. You can do it all here on Maui. Anyway, we're in this women's heat here, kind of a cat fight, so to speak, with not really the sharpest claws going out there because the conditions just don't seem that great for what we want to do here. We're trying to get through these heats. Franny, I don't know if you'd be windsurfing right now on a normal day. You'd be paddling out for sure, huh?
It's looking pretty light. I mean, you still can catch some waves, but yeah, if we don't call it on for the men's, I'm probably going to go for a little surf, definitely.
I might join you. Yeah. We'll see here. We're trying to get it done here. We're in a situation basically where we've got at least 12 days left in the waiting period. And Maui is a very windy place, generally speaking, all times of the year, though it hasn't been that windy lately. So, you know, it's open to interpretation what can actually happen. I think Duncan's trying to do something. Yeah. So here we go. Possible exchange here as you pan out. You got Ingrid LaRouche on the Ezzy sail. That's a scoring wave here for LaRouche, who takes a high line on her Ezzy sail and now is going to go to work. Really took the high line, got through a lot of real estate before she started riding this wave. She's got a low compact style, a lot of power, and she heads down to the point after getting a score. There's no two ways about it. Outside of her and on a much smaller wave is Tatiana, who's going to kind of give the crisscross high line check turn, and then it hits the point, and she's going to kind of get a little bit of a wall climb right out of that. So those are two opening scores. You know, it shows what's possible out there. I can't say I was on the edge of my seat or anything, but the reality is that those were scores. And you know, you got to get on the board somehow in these situations. This is really, really pick and choose. You almost can't sail out too far. You've got to let the waves come to you and play position like you're a surfer. And you know, looking at it realistic, Franny, I mean, it's kind of, you know, in a way like your heat at the WSL PI Challenge. I mean, you can go scratch around, but if the wave comes to you, you got to go, right?
Yeah. I definitely had really good pulse that first day, and that first heat we had, it was definitely action-packed. And
here's Fiona Wilde. Fiona Wilde setting up on a beautiful wave. Fiona coming back from injury as well. And nice hit for Fiona. I think the judges really liked the fact that she hit that thing. You know, like you saw the first two women on their waves. Ingrid kind of trimmed and Fiona kind of danced around, but Fiona went and batted that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Fiona went straight up and down. Yeah, it's looking like it's lining up. It's light, but the waves look fun. Pretty pumped on getting out there pretty soon. We had Halloween last night. It was definitely fun.
What did you dress up as?
I was American. I was an Indian. It was like Native American Indian with like some blood and broken heart and yeah.
Got it. All right, we got action down at the point. Down low, below Sarah, who's not in this heat anymore. Pan down, down, down. There we go. There's Tatiana Howard. Much better wave for her. And she's all geared up. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Okay. See what happens when the heat starts? You get aggro. So Tatiana meant business there. I rarely see her hit sections like that. I hope she's okay. Almost could have landed on her rig there. But, I mean, that's kind of hinting at what we have, these little peak moments. It's not rapid-fire action. What it is more than anything is it's these little moments of peak action. Right there, you had this nice set wave that she kind of caressed down the line. And then just right at the end, bro, just boom, and just blasted. Tanya just blasted that. That was aggressive, and I mean, let's not forget about Fiona's hit. These girls are here to win this heat. I don't care about no second round. You know, get into that first position and cruise it through that round. And you know, as if on cue, the wind actually did an improvement here, and that's kind of what we've got. Is it's this up and down, back and forth, on and off type of thing. And I mean, in a windsurf event, you know, you'd like to think the mobility is going to happen, but this turns it way more into a surfing type of contest. You know, the wave riding is you're going to keep your two best wave scores. And if you can get into a cycle and catch a bunch of waves consecutively, that's great. But at the same time, you really want to have a little bit of a pick and choose. Like when you're a Ho'okipa, Francisco, what is your favorite section to ride here? Just anything, windsurfing or surfing.
Probably the best wave is the one that you connect from the North Peak further up and then connect all the way through and then get that end section, that West Bowl little section in here. I think that's the funnest wave you can get out here.
So green trees.
Yeah, from green trees all the way. Those ones that connect good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about those days too. And you get up the green tree and you see that you're up there and you got a good one. You just go down the line. You know, you got a really nice wave that's going to allow you basically to demonstrate your style and show your capability and give the judges something to work with. That's the most important thing here. It's like the judges are sitting there waiting for you to do something. You got to at least give them something to work with. And in the case of, you know, Fiona and Tatiana, certainly Ingrid as well, they're going to do their best to do that. I wish I could see Twitter, but I just got a nice tweet from my friend Alex Reinpricht. Says I have 3 nipples. Right on. I didn't know that. Let's see what we got here. Twitterland's firing up on us here. We're going to get the flare-ups. Anyway, nothing quite happening outside. You do see Fiona Wilde in her sailwork sail. And Serena Zoya. Is that a Challenger sail? Not quite sure what make and model that is. Sorry, but I don't know. Tatiana Howard in first. Wave 1 was a 4. Wave 2 was a 5.33. And Fiona got a 6.83 for that hit. In second without even a second wave to her credit. Now that was Serena Zoya, and she kicks out. There you go. Boom. Redirect. Traditionally speaking, we always have this day after Halloween to windsurf here. This is now November. Believe it or not, already November. And we've gotten through the Piahi Challenge. Yeah. My good friend Francisco Porcella here just competed in it. And what can I say? You know, this is kind of what, you know, I'll start talking about Maui and how special Maui is we watched Tatiana Howard from Maui slash that wave, kind of try and get a little more aggressive and step up to the level of actually, sailing a heater. But Maui, Francisco, wow, is it kind of the center of the universe for everything that you can do in water sports, whether it's surfing, windsurfing, stand-up paddleboarding, foiling, all these sports, kiteboarding. I mean, it's just so amazing, everything that's developed out of here. You'd like to kind of carry on that approach worldwide, and you look at things, like every given day somewhere in the world you can do one of these sports. But Maui, it seems like you could do every sport in every single day.
Yeah, that's something special about Maui, definitely. I haven't been here much lately just because I've been doing other stuff, but it was really nice to get back and get to appreciate these places and all these sports, and it is definitely a really special place that I call home. And time for me now is to spend more time in places like Portugal and Nazare and Mavericks and other ways. But I love being here, and I can't wait for it to be pumping again. The contest was fun. It was really like firing waves, and I didn't really do my best in my heat, but the next day I got a sick barrel, and that's all that mattered for me, is kind of show everybody that I can get barreled on some of the nutsest waves out there.
I think everybody knows that, Franny, and everybody who doesn't know how good of a windsurfer and kiteboarder you are, you're definitely a multi-sport athlete, aside from the fact that you jump off of, 80-meter cliffs in Sardinia and your whole antics, and then your brother. We won't even get into Nicolo and all the things he can do. Yeah. But between the two of you, you're looking at a generation of water sports people who, absolutely branch off into all these incredible endeavors, and hats off to both of you guys. I'm glad you're all in one piece. That's all I can say. I watch very closely, and all the things you can get into out here in the world, it's still yet all related to the things that have kind of begun here on Maui. And I'll put Maui up for all the things. I mean, obviously windsurfing came to fruition here, and a whole bunch of stuff with surfing based on the old days in Honolulu Bay right up to Piahi. As we have an exchange setting up here, that's Serena on the bottom part of the wave, and she does have Fiona Wilde upwind of her, which isn't on your screen. And that was kind of a 1-2 exchange, two people on one wave. There's Fiona kicking out, and there on this wave is Tatiana Howard. He's pretty much taking command of this heat, kind of really stomping her level of authority on this, though that section didn't really give it to her, and there was someone kind of in the way. Fiona definitely having a good heat too, though. And what you didn't see on that exchange was that Fiona actually had the better of that wave than Serena Zoya did. Now, score-wise, Tatiana in first, Fiona in second. That's likely to stay the same because I haven't seen Ingrid LaRouche in a while. So it's playing out that way. This is now kind of the territory of about 1 to 2 wave sets. Nothing really consistently on offer here, but whatever's coming through is getting ridden. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, they're doing it whenever they're given the chance. These are kind of a little bit more of an efficiency heat, maybe just a little bit better of a heat wind-wise. It's pretty square into this now at 2:30 in the afternoon, and this is, if it's going to be good, it's going to be like right now. Basically, it's going to have to assume that this is what we're going to be given to work with for the duration. That was a drone launching there, piloted by Jake Miller. Maybe we can get a live feed from that. Anyway, we'll get some footage towards the end of the day and the daily recap from the drone, however. All right, speaking of Ingrid LaRouche, there she is on her Ezzy sail, pumping furiously and in. Ingrid is in. This will be her second scoring wave. But she doesn't like it. She's like, no, that doesn't have LaRouche written on it. She's out. That's probably a pretty good decision, Franny. I don't know if, it looked good from the, setup point.
Then, yeah, the wave didn't really offer much after.
No, that was fool's gold on that one. And outside, Serena again, pumping to get on a wave, but not getting on it. And you're seeing what's happening out there. It's this kind of cat and mouse game. A lot of pumping going on. Some wave riding. Beautiful sunny day in paradise. Nothing to complain about. Nothing whatsoever. It's got everything we need. Yeah. This might be one of the best days in the world somewhere else. You know, granted, it's not the best day of the year at Hokipa, and not even really close based on the wind factor. It's a nice lined-up swell, though. There are some nuggets coming down from your spot up there in Green Trees, Franny, and I think it's just a matter of time before someone really cracks the code and finds it. Is it going to be Ingrid on this one upwind? You see her on the outside to your far right. Upwind of Fiona, as you see. That's Ingrid there, thank you. And there you go. Ingrid LaRouche making it pay off for waiting on that one. Is she going to give it on this one? I guarantee you she's riding this wave, Franny. Here we go. Ingrid LaRouche off the bottom. Really needs a good solid second score. Kind of not able to really give that her full aggressive stance. You could see she wanted to snap it, but it was still a second score for her. Will it be enough to tangle with Fiona and Tati? Hard to say. Hard to say. Seems like that didn't really change the order of things too much. It'd be up to Fiona right now to answer back to Tati. That's mostly our battle right now. All right. Okay, upcoming exchange. You see it down low. And that Serena actually pumped on this wave after Tatiana. Tatiana's going to be the ambassador of Aloha and give it to her. But Serena spacks the turn. Wow, did you see that? So, like, Tatiana actually gave Serena that wave, and then Serena bogged her turn out the back. Tatiana's like, that's the last time I'm doing that for you. Anyway, Tatiana definitely not suffering because this is a nice point nugget. A nugget on a nugget. Here's Tatiana off the bottom. Getting that little slide. This isn't going to change anything. It's just nice to watch. Tatiana's got massive style, both surfing and windsurfing. One of those multi-sport athletes we speak of. A very accomplished surfer, loves windsurfing, probably equally. And is definitely one of our favorite members in this lineup. And recently engaged, if you didn't know that. Yeah, I heard, Frank, you're getting married. That's awesome. So, congratulations all the way for Tatiana. She's going to be an American Italian, Rob says. It's great. Well, Fiona Wilde has taken the lead. And a 5.5 and a 6.83. And really quite ahead, actually, in this heat now. That first wave of Fiona has really set the tone. And in a big way, shows you what the judges want. The judges want contact. They want you to hit stuff. You can be all cat-like and move around and sly and stylish, but if you hit stuff, like Fiona did on her first wave, and what she might do now, Fiona Wilde off the bottom, contact. Except this time, Hokipa slapped her right back. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'll keep my tongue. But she got slapped upside the head. That was a boom whacker. No disgrace at all. Serena Zoya has a bull to hit if she wants to. And she's aiming for it, but she's not going to hit that. And she's down. Ingrid LaRouche, however. Ingrid LaRouche on a high line at the point has this wave. Target acquired. Will she hit it? She's going to hit it. And she flies out the back. At least she hit it. Franny, what's your line when you're like windsurfing and you see a big bull? What do? Tell me. What do you do?
I love like trimming up and just seeing that bull coming down the line, just full speed, just come underneath of it, and just that's like one of the most classical moments of windsurfing. And just under the lip, just boom, and then just get projected out and just float. And,
good description. Yeah. And I think the part that I like the most out of the one is that you hit it late.
Yeah.
You want to hit late at Hokipa, and I think that in terms of like separating yourself in a heat with the judges, if you hit something really late, it's definitely dramatic. You saw Sarah Hauser do it early in the previous heat where she just really went up vertically and late. It would have been great to see her complete that, but the point is that the late approach gives you that dramatic hit where you're maximum rebound of the whitewater. Exactly. Clearly, the judges are impressed with Fiona Wilde's approach here in the fact that she's getting very good scores and is riding aggressively. It's definitely a battle between Tatiana and Fiona here. So we're good. We're good. We're still here, you guys. And that's what's important here. I know my first Aloha Classic was in '87. That was 30 years ago, and it's like in the 4th year of running of the event. And it is nice to see that we are all still here in one form or another, whether we're competing or just coming out and checking out the event. That's the beautiful part about this event. Is a traditional event. It's got a lot of history in it, and just the continuation alone of it's really heartwarming to see. And I think that's my favorite part about the whole thing right now. Is we're dealing with a tradition here. We're trying to honor the tradition, but I think the joy is just being out there, and it's great to see you in the bracket, Franny. Been a little while.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a really good chance for me to be here at this time, and after the Jaws event, is like, why not, do the Aloha Classic again? I missed it last year, and yeah, stoked to be here, stoked to, exactly like you said, be here with everybody and the whole crew. And it is a tradition here for Maui, and Aloha Classic's been here for a long time. It's special to still be in here.
Absolutely, super stoked you're on it, and just for fun, right? I mean, your focus right now is surfing, big wave surfing, Francisco, and I don't think windsurfing got in the way of it, but the point is that it requires your focus. I don't think any amount of windsurfing is going to help you at Jaws or Mavericks, okay?
No, but I think something that helps is the speed, and when you're towing, let's say, and Nazare, like, I think going at really fast speeds and having to deal with the chop, and I think windsurfing helps with that, but
hey, also with judging the lineup from the outside, as we've done a lot of towing together, and memorable sessions, but also remember how we were reading things a little differently than other people, because we are windsurfers and we know what things look like on the outside. That's a lot of stuff. With surfers are judging by what things look like in the impact zone, and that's a little bit of a different story on the outside. I mean, a couple of times we've been out like 50 skis or something. I mean, the mayhem of that era. And that's kind of when you took off in your direction, Franny, is when the paddle movement started. You were one of the first guys paddling out there. Yeah. And I think that's really shown both in, how ingrained you are in the local lineup out there. You've got a really good spot in that lineup, and just how that's carried over. And
something special about you and me, though, right before that whole paddle movement, was that my first XXL nominee was me and you just getting whipped into some bombs out of Jaws,
Big time. I'll never forget towing with you, Franny, and we'll do it again sometime. And, I think that the differential is there. We've got action on the outside here. Here's Fiona Wilde, definitely clawing into this first wave of a set. She's got a good line on this. There's nice wave outside. Full contact, Fiona Wilde. Okay, I'm amping. That's what I wanted to see. Fiona knows how to slap lips. There goes Ingrid LaRouche. Kind of the best turn of the heat for her, too. No real contact, but definitely a nice slash for Ingrid. That was a huge exchange between Fiona and Ingrid.
Wow, that was a nice...
How is Fiona? Straight up. Straight up. And here is a nice outside set, and you're looking at none other than the butterfly queen herself, Tatiana Howard, on a difference maker with not a lot of time on the clock here. Here goes Tatiana. Off the bottom with a little bit of caution, just trying to link the wave here. Big opportunity to go hero status, and we'll just head to the channel. We're not going to break any fingernails on that one. Not even close. Might snap an eyebrow out, but that's about it. Okay, maybe a little fingernail polish remover, fine. But the simple truth is, had Tatiana just gone straight up and skied the section, she'd have won that heat. And what we're seeing in terms of the contact aspect, this proves it. I mean, Fiona just boom. Oh yeah, boom. Just hitting like off the bottom and hitting it flat. Yeah, just bam, straight through the roof.
Giving it 100%.
And you can dance around the section all you want, but when you're in a battle with Fiona Wilde, you're gonna need to expect the fact that she's gonna bring contact to the table, and she did it again there. And Tatiana's wave was actually really nice. It's just that you're dealing with this standard now that the judges, kind of like what you did when you caught that barrel in the day 2. You were the first person who rode a wave. You were no longer in the event, but I mean, obviously you're in that line. You pulled into a gaping barrel backside, knifed in your line, almost made it out. I have no idea how you didn't make it out personally, but what happened was the entire lineup just went, ho! And, you know, people took notice. This got a lot of attention, right? You set the scale.
Yeah,
That's what happened. And so I think right now, Fiona Wilde's kind of setting the scale. If I'm not mistaken, she's got the highest score in the heat. A high 6 for her first wave has to stand as one of the better scores. And what you're going to get out of that is you're going to get serve notice to whoever else is out there that that's what you got to do. So here we go. Serena Zoya getting a little bit crisscrossed here, not quite lining it up. Doesn't really know the lineup at Arequipa as well as most people do. It's a little bit of a rookie kind of wise decision to kick out of that, actually. It wasn't really that nuggeting of a wave. You can remember. All right, 5.5 and change. Moving right along here. Moving our way into heat 3 before too long. And then we'll see where we're at. Well, Ingrid LaRouche has now stiff-armed her way into second, Franny. She's taken Tatiana down to third. And what I think happened here on wave number 6, that big bomb, is that Tatiana's scale has slid down slightly. I think the judges are sending the message that the cat-like positioning and the graceful riding only counts for so much. It's still a good score. You know, 4.83 is nothing to be ashamed about. But it's not the 6.83 or the 6.6 that Fiona Wilde is getting for contacting. And it might be a shorter ride or a smaller wave, but Fiona's going late, and she's hitting it straight.
It's that commitment on that first maneuver that gets the score. Okay.
All right, Serena. Now she's got a wave she can work with. Off the left fade, bottom turn, mid-face. Gracefully heading towards the photographer. Photographer gets out of the way. Serena continues going down the line, gives it a look. Kind of gives it the look. And out. Okay, that's that exchange right there. Now, you can kind of see what's happening. This has become now Ingrid and Fiona's battle. Tatiana's not that far behind at all. But Tatiana needs to score something in the 6 range to be in second. So the separation occurred early on. I mean, Ingrid's first wave was a 6 as well. I'm seeing how these scores are playing out here. It's an interesting dynamic. And the judges are certainly sticking to their guns here. 5.67 for LaRouche's second scoring ride. In truth, Fiona is pretty comfortably in front. She's got a pair of high 6s. So until LaRouche or Howard get something in the 6-point range, things are going to stay the same here. And Serena Zoya needs to basically punt in a low 9 to take second. Forget about the lead, just playing second. Okay, here's an exchange here between LaRouche and Howard. Howard's playing really nice in the lineup, and I like to see that. It's just letting Ingrid go. It's fine. Here goes Ingrid. Fading left. Carefully assesses her option. Takes a high line. Gets off the bottom. Little bit of a lip line floater there with contact. You judges are going to like that. With air. And there's Tatiana kind of with a closeout bowl to work with. Gets the aggressive slash, but not much else. And outside of her, Fiona Wilde. Thank you, cameraman. Perfectly done. Right off the bottom. This is her opening salvo. Kind of more of a classic hang turn. Fiona sailing great, you guys. That's a big hit. Oh, and it hits back. But guess what? There was some contact all over that wave. Fiona's gnarly. She's straight gnarly. She's just brutalizing these waves. matching power with power.
Yeah.
Really proud of how she's sailing.
Yeah. Liking what I'm seeing from the girls. Yeah, Fiona's, it's showing she's not scared to hit the lip. That's the commitment I like to see out here.
Yeah. That's what it's going to take at this level. You've got to hit stuff. You've got to at least, link some turns. That's great. When you hit the lip, you serve notice to the judges that you're trying to separate yourself from the other sailors. And here is Serena Zoya, not really making it work. Light wind. Light wind definitely playing its factor here. Okay, got 1 minute left in this heat. It appears as if Ingrid sailed in already. Toddy is outside.
I like to get my heat before the end of the day, if I could.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see where the decision lies for the pro men here. I'm thinking it's still under debate, but we'll know soon enough because I'm the first guy out in that pro heat. So I will be not bringing it to you live. I will be out there if we're going. We'll see about that. I don't think it's a certain thing at all. Now, as far as the final minute in this heat, I think it's pretty over because everybody who's outside right now is in that next heat. So you're looking at the likes of Shauna Kropas. You're looking at Flora Vergnol, Maria Andres, and Colette Guandagno.
Yeah,
So, Colette in the mix as well. Those are our two pride sailors there. Once again, Heat 3 is going to be Flora Vergnol, Maria Andres, Shauna Kropas, and Colette Guadagno. And that's the end of Heat 2. And that will start the transition period for Heat 3. That was one of the better heats right there, Franny. I don't think that we really had any reason to not count it. You'd like to think that the sailors have seen the judges reward Fiona Wilde for that style of riding. And we're going to commercial here, so come right back to you at the 2017 Aloha Classic. Please make it happen. Please make it happen. I wanted to get in there so bad, dude. You know I can do it. What's up, Sam? Heat number 3. Franny, are you going to check out here? It's been great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Kai. Love being here. Love everybody, all the crew. Let's have some fun. I can't wait to get in the water.
Keep charging, Franny. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Francisco Porcella needs no introduction, but he does need his phone. Okay, Funk, sit down. I'm going to need you here. Can you take through what's happening in the judges' booth and what the general dynamic of what they're trying to do here?
Well, right now they're just trying to tally up the scores of the last heat of the women's. They're just making sure they have all the correct number of waves for each competitor. But as we go on, we have 2 more women's heats, which is going to run about a little more than an hour. We've just started into this heat, and then around 4 o'clock or so, we should be starting into the pro men. We're going to try and do 2 heats of pro men. To be honest with you, again, local knowledge, you know it as well as I do. At 4 o'clock, we're going to see a big difference between now and 4, I think.
Well, I'm in that first heat, so I'm not going to look at it any other way than just do as I'm told.
Yeah, exactly.
I know how Duncan runs, and Duncan will run in just about anything. And I think that the truth of the matter is we're at that point right now in the first contestable day in the period with a lot to come. We don't want to rest on our laurels and say, oh, it's going to be windy the whole time. What are we bothering? At the same time, there's going to be a line that gets crossed when it's actually worth doing or not. Right now, girls are getting scores. In fact, some of them are making it look pretty good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be a little bit up to what the conditions do and how we do it. We've got 2 more women's heats before we're going to try the pro men. So, at any rate, this heat's already started. Flora Vignol, Maria Andres, Shauna Kropas, and Colette Guandagno. And I think I just saw Shauna Kropas start off with a wave. Those of you who've been asking where you can see this live cast, my understanding is at Aloha Classic Maui.com/livecast. That's my understanding. Anyway, here's a nice wave coming in here if we can pan out. Check it out. Nice. That's Maria Andres from España. She's putting in a lot of time at Ho'okipa, Rob.
Sailing. So she's so much more improved than a few years ago. Every year she gets just better and better.
She looks really comfortable out here. And watch, you guys, this is going to show that comfort level. High line to H. Poco Point. Plenty of waves behind her. Nice bottom turn from Maria. Kind of contact, too. I'll give you contact on that. Nice job, Maria. Nice sailing.
Good first scoring wave.
Very, very stylish sailor, if I may say so myself. That was a good wave ride. Okay, outside of her, this looks a great deal like Shauna. There goes that classic Shauna Kropas bottom turn. She's a regular out in this lineup. No introduction needed as far as any Jimmy Hep gallery, Fishbowl Diaries gallery. She's in them every day because she sails here every day. And outside, Flora Vignol on her simmer on a Bazam. Look at this wave, Rob.
Yep.
There goes Flora down the line on her black tip 4-7. Flora going downtown, heading to the channel.
She's riding my board.
Well, you set her up on a board, Rob. How nice of you.
Notice how she turned. Oh,
Ah.
the board might be going on the
And here goes Colette Guandagno, excuse my English, or my Venezuelan, I should say. A little bit shut down there for Colette. I think we're going to see that happen quite a bit to anybody out there. But, wow, Flora got a really big bomb and rode it for quite a distance. I didn't see a huge amount of turning from her, but that wasn't bad at all. And I'm looking at Maria Andres sailing right by her, and Maria had a good opening wave. And Shauna seems like she's already ridden 2 waves in this heat. So, you know, your scorecards are kind of full already, Funk.
They are, but I'll tell you something about Flora, if she doesn't go on the rocks, is that this is her only 4th time sailing at Ho'okipa ever. So,
That's her 4th time sailing Ho'okipa ever, and she just got that bomb?
yes, she did. I'm pretty stoked for her. And she was complaining about the board she had before, so I let her try my board. And the first time she rode my board, she ended up on the rocks. We had to get it fixed.
Oh.
Now she thinks it's her board because she loves it so much. So
That's cool. That's cool. We can make that work. All right. It's kind of an in-between moment here. I'm going to read these scores off for you. Maria Andres in first, 5.83. Shauna Kropas with a 5.17. If I'm not mistaken, there's another score going to drop for her. And Flora hasn't gotten her score, and neither has Colette. So scores yet to drop, guys, on that. That's kind of the situation. We'll wait until those happen. Well, we are getting through this round, and, you know, think about it. Nothing else happens for the rest of the event, and all the forecasts are wrong. We'll definitely not regret running today.
No, I agree 100%. This has been, I really didn't think we were going to go today, to be honest with you, from this morning. I was wrong.
I kind of have the feeling at contests, you know, anything can happen and anything will happen. But usually you're kind of in a more proactive mode in competition where you're either going to force it to happen and you get something to happen, or else things just kind of work out. It's definitely gotten a little windier here. I can see one competitor actually somewhat trying to plane out there. This is that period of the day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, where you can certainly expect there to be this is kind of like the peak moment here, typically speaking. And as you look at the lineup, it's kind of just a cat and mouse jockeying game, nothing major coming in and nobody in position to score. Shauna Kropis kind of holding the lineup together. There you see her sailing out upwind. Behind her is Maria Andres. Behind her is Colette. And then Flora's all the way in the channel on your board.
On my board, right? Making it out just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's on a 4-7 simmer.
Yeah, that's a simmer black tip. A very good choice for today. A very stable profiled sail, but also excellent low end. When you have a sail that's got good low end like the black tip does, it enables you to maybe play with the board selection a little differently as well. But the thing you're getting the most out of is you can stay closer to the wave with the smaller sail. And that's a huge advantage. You're going to make it look a lot more surf-like. You're going to have a lot more upside in the dynamics of your wave riding. Of course, you got to have wind in that sail, so it's kind of a mixed bag of. You can't just go out on a small sail and expect magic to happen. What you can expect, though, is if you get on a good wave and you have the power in your sail, you're going to be able to demonstrate your agility a lot more effectively. So there is that. Flor Vignor, Maria Andres, Shauna Kropis, and Colette Guadagno in this heat. Still waiting for scores on the first exchanges here. Let me check my phone. Okay, as expected, Shauna Kropis in first place, 5.17 and a 5.83, who just really went on a 1-2 tear there. Stomp, stomp. And Maria Andres still in second based on the strength of that wave. Flora got a 3 for that bomb. That's a pretty fair score considering that he's, the wave ride, but maybe not all the turns in the world associated. But I've got to give Flora a lot of credit for getting that wave and really, getting in the mix here. Fourth time sailing Hokipa?
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's just great. And Colette Guadagno, wave 1 got a 2. So that's your scale. That's your breakdown right now. 2017 Aloha Classic here. IWT and PWA kind of combining. PWA running it as a qualifier for the 2018 season. These are the IWT finals. And I will actually get to my IWT rankings shortly because I'm not really fully aware who's in the lead. I know that riders like Kevin Pritchard have been doing most of the events. We've got, riders like Maxime Fevrier from Simmer. I think he's done every event. Boujma Guillaume's been very involved. He's won the tour before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your regular players, your regular cast of characters. This all started in Morocco in May. And it's a really nice tour. To be able to say that you're going to Morocco, you're going to Baja, Pistol River, Chile, Peru. Wow. Rounded out with Maui. I'm going to be signing up for that pretty soon here and do that whole program. Those are great places to go. That was Shauna pumping to get into a wave but not getting it. And outside of Shauna is Maria Andres, who has a nice wave and is going to keep this one. And she's just winding up her coil up top. Very, very feminine style, but aggressive and stylish. Look at the setup time. Now she's baiting. This is pure Hokipa sailing here. She's really making it look like a veteran, but she got caught behind a little bit there. And while it was a nice wave, it wasn't really a complete ride. So Maria, a little bit shut down to the effect of not necessarily getting the whole breadth of that. But there is Shauna Kropis, who gets kind of a lip climb and has to kind of just play it safe into the channels, has a decision to make whether she goes to the channel or not. Right now, the informed sailor is Fiona Wilde in this round. And she's gotten the highest scores, and I think she's put on the best performance. That's just my not-so-humble opinion. I'd like to call my own heat. I'd be giving myself a hard time, man. But I mean, the point being that, people are in various different stages of their careers. Someone like Maria Andres, the body of work is in front of her. In comparison to a Motoko Sato, who's, probably accomplished the majority of her goals. I'm not saying she's, over the hill or whatever. The point is, people are in different stages of that ascension to the top. to try and get there. And someone like Sarah Hauser is so close last year, still has a little bit of work in front of her. The proving never ends.
No, it never does. It's your you never want it to end because you always want to do well in front of everyone for one, and you want to say to the up and comers, "Hey, I still got it." So, is Junko doing this?
I do not see Junko's name in here, and I'll just briefly mention that Junko Nagoshi, also the top competitor out here, just recently became a mother, and I'm sure that that's also a huge factor here because she loves windsurfing, and we love having her out here. And I just like to say hi, Junko. Keep ripping. Anyway, we're definitely rolling along here, Rob. This is going to be the third heat of the women's round, and the fourth heat, and I guess Duncan wants us to go with the pro men, and that's going to bring things to kind of an exciting level and see what we can make it look like and what gets accomplished in that. Within all of these opportunities to compete, you're going to have these battles that set up, but I think what you see are the sailors who realize when they've got their opportunity and take it and capitalize. You can only have so many opportunities, even in a 30-minute heat, Rob, but when you have it, I think the judges recognize if you've made the most of that opportunity. Please elaborate.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct. The judges can tell, you can feel it. And when you have the feel, man, it makes you express yourself so much better on a wave, and the judges see that immediately it's just your confidence. So when you see that, and as a judge, I go, wow, that guy's on fire, and he knows he's on fire, and we all know he's on fire.
Clearly also, using the example of someone like Francisco Goya, who for years struggled to bring his free sailing level to competition, but then was able to actually make his competition sailing look like his free sailing. And that's what you really want to get. So you want to be able to bring your free sailing into the heats. And anybody would aspire to be that, comfortable and confident to do that. It takes a lot of experience. Here's Colette Guadagno on an absolute beauty of a wave. This is a gorgeous lower green tree line. She's kind of feeling out the bottom, making sure she's not too deep. She understands this is a really important score for her. Draws her line off the bottom, connecting the dots here, pointing it down towards the point off the bottom. Is she going to hit it? It hits back. And hits back hard. She got kind of abused by that wave, dude. Still hanging on, though. Just like she can. That was definitely not plan A, but she definitely hit it, and she's definitely going to get a better score than a 2, I would think. I don't think it puts her in a commanding position in this heat, but that was a nice wave. Shauna Kropas definitely throwing down the gauntlet here. A pair of 5s. But as soon as I said that, we have a new heat leader, and it is Maria Andres. Has taken control of this heat with a 6.33, her first wave. And her second one was a 4.64. So the benefit of having a really strong first wave just paid off for Maria. I'm really proud of Maria. She's, really stepped it up here. This is by far the best I've seen her sail in a contest.
I agree.
Even in the short sample that we have to draw off of. And she means business. She's not here just to, to do good. I get the feeling she wants to win this contest.
Oh, I agree. She looks like she wants to win the contest. So you look at her and her drive, her turns, her, like you said, graceful, feminine style, but she's ripping, period. She has a good style and an aggressive style, too.
She's got substance.
Yeah, very well.
And that the important thing is that the judges understand, it's kind of like an interpretation, a little translation of what's the message I'm bringing to the judges of what I tried to do versus what I did. Did you understand that I did what I tried to do, or was it like leave the judges guessing? When you display intent and you do exactly what you're trying to do, that's when the judges really notice.
And Maria's pumping onto this thing right here, and looks like she's going to have herself a really nice wave.
Conditions are as good as they've been all day right now at this exact moment. There's Maria Andres, totally in control and on a gorgeous wave at the point. Here she goes from Spain, Maria Andres. North Fanatic. Kind of got hung on that turn, but she did not sacrifice her position whatsoever as she finishes her ride. And we pan out at the end of Maria's wave here up to Shauna Kropas, trying to get back into it. Shauna's on a really nice wave. I really like her bottom turn style. This is a super clean wave. Definitely getting a lot of distance covered. Not as big of a wave as Maria's. Maria's doing great. Shauna's doing great. It's between the two of them right now for first and second. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing this as a really good decisive battle. I'm pretty enthused on the conditions. You know, we could have called it quits at 1:30 in the afternoon and seen this happen. Because right now, it's as good as it's been all day, and it looks like it might even be trying to get windier. So, Mana from heaven, our friend in the sky, has blessed us here at the 2017 Aloha Classic IWT Final. And, you know, Haleakala, a perfectly round, conical 10,000-foot mountain, does not need more than 5 knots of surface wind to turn it into saleable.
Exactly.
And we know that. And, you know, all the predictions and feelings in the morning and all that, man, when you get to 3 o'clock and land heats up and you have some convective, you know, air currents, a little bit of a pressure gradient thrown in, you're going to get wind. You're going to get saleable wind. And some of those classic days, Rob, are sometimes those lighter wind days.
When people don't even know that it's happening because they looked on the webcam, it didn't look windy. My personal thing, I love it when people ask me, hey, it didn't look good on the webcam, didn't see anything going on. I go, you missed it? Yeah. You should have been there.
I love that webcam.
I love that webcam because it made no one show up.
I know you'd think it'd be the opposite.
It is, but the best thing about it is these people, I like to come to the beach and see the action because I know Maui, it's going to be windy. The forecasts are always a day before Maui.
Here goes Donna Kropas on a proper point wave and just kind of a performance-sized wave where she's not going to be able to hold back at all. I love her style. I love the way she points her rig up into the lip like that. She's got a very good bottom turn. She's one of the taller women as well, so she can throw her frame into those turns. She's got some hidden power to her as well. Shauna, you know, day in, day out, probably sales will keep her more than just about any of the girls. I could name a few others. Sarah Hauser's out here all the time. And it's, you know, Tatiana sales a lot. The 3 of those women actually like, live here. So that's that. You know, Queen of Hokipa aside, that's, you know, kind of a fleeting title here, but there goes Colette on yet another really good solid wave. And Colette can get right back into this if she, you know, powers through this ride. And the lead's just going back and forth between Shauna and Maria Andres as we watch Colette just make it down the point here on a pretty nice Hokipa offering. Oh, dude, that was a really nice wave and quite well ridden as well. Nothing super critical, but definitely a nice wave. And outside of her, Shauna Kropas with contact, and she bows out. Shauna Kropas, right now, as it stands, is in first place. Her last wave, a 6.17, which is the second highest score in this heat. We've got nothing but a battle between Shauna and Maria. And it ain't over yet. What do we got left?
We got just a little over 10 minutes left.
10 minutes and change, and everything to play for here at the 2017 Aloha Classic. Once again, I think it's a good time to thank our sponsors. And I'll do that here on this list. We would like to thank our main sponsors, County of Maui, Dakine, and Eternal Riders. God bless you. Thank you so much for your support and for making this event happen. We're really grateful to you. Local sponsors, Cafe Mambo, Casa Nova, Relief, legendary Kuau Store, Nalukai Lodge, that 300-acre development I've been talking about, in the lower part of Haiku, very prime. I'll be getting into that. North Shore Mountain Car Rental, Rock and Bruce, Chinook, and Mama's Fish House. Florida's on wave, and it straightens out. Tour sponsors. There's Flora just finishing up her ride. It was kind of a glassy face. Unfortunately, just when I started talking about how good it was getting, the wind dropped. And it's going to do that about 100 more times before it drops for good today. It's just simply put, not that consistent. We really had a good look there for just 5 minutes. It was really, really looking good. And now we're going to get on the other hand of that equation. Now we're going to start like sizzling in waves. Shauna couldn't even pump into that one. Here's an outside exchange. Maria Andres all the way on the outside trying to pump into it. She gets it. So that's there. You're looking at Shauna, and Maria didn't get it. And Shauna, not being told what the scores are, she's just swinging at everything coming her way. She's gonna beat this thing. Bam! Nice, Shauna. One of the more aggressive hits that you see a woman do, right up to the lip, slap coming in on your inside rail, full make. Impressive. Not her highest score, nor does she think it is. But you keep swinging, you're going to get a hit. Anyway.
I'm just looking at my board. It's off the point of the rock.
Yeah, Rob's board is kind of close to the rock star in the hands of Flora Vignal, and it's out. She's good.
She's safe.
Yeah. Oh, I probably saw you swimming for it at a certain point there, right? All right, on the outside, nice set moving into the point. It's just quite unfortunate that at this point, the wind kind of took a bit of a break. The wind's dropping.
It's moving. You can tell by the humidity that
it just got more humid, didn't it? Yeah. It really did. That's totally true. Okay. Trying to feather her way into this wave that's Colette, and she can't get it. And yes, we are definitely in a period now where the wind's done a little bit of a drop-a-roo. Oh, man. Let's check scores here just so I know what's going on. Because I don't know what's going on. Okay. Looks like Shauna Kropas still in the lead here. Shauna Kropas has ridden 7 waves in this heat. That's a high number. In contrast, Mariandres has ridden 3, but they're all really high scores. A 6.67, a 4.67, and a 5.17. In Shauna's case, she's got a high 5.83 and a 6.17 should be her 2 highest scores. Pretty solid. One of the better heats I've seen Shauna sail, actually. And that was a matter of time, in my opinion. There's Colette gently caressing this head-high wave at the point, and she's out. And the wind has definitely gotten lighter. And I say that for 2 reasons. The people riding the waves, and when I look at your board in the channel, Rob, Flora can't even water start. So we've really got to take a close look at this. I'd be really happy if I were Duncan with a women's first round out of what we thought we were going to get today.
I agree 100%.
And we'll see exactly what happens now. I'm in the guinea pig heat, and I get the feeling that he's sending me out, you guys. Duncan likes to do this. It's okay. I'm a good whipping boy, right?
We've seen you in the water whip us back, though.
That's the plan. Still got to get some whipping winds to be able to whip the whip. What do they say? You rip the lip or you rip the rip? You rip the rip, you're going to, get in on it. Well, anyway, let's get back to scores here and try and get some sort of information to you as to what's actually happening in this heat, which is still going to be Shauna Kropas in the lead. But what's going on here? How much time, Rob? 5 minutes?
Yeah, a little more than
Okay,
5
minutes, and the wind's dramatically dropped. Now we're dealing with a situation where it's like super light in the lineup. Waves are rolling under. Both Maria and Sean and Colette cannot get these waves. While I don't think it's the grounds to call this heat's going to count no matter what happens. Shauna rode like 8 waves. And it's not a quantity thing. If you look at Maria's scorecard, it's a quality thing. There's 2 ways to look at it. If you're on a wave, you're keeping your competitor off a wave. That's one way to look at it. If you're only looking for that certain kind of scoring wave, that's another way to look at it. What you're looking at right now on your screen is Maria Andres is just in that spot, in that sweet upwind zone where you really can't do anything wrong. However, you still need to have the wind to provide you the opportunity to actually even get out. And right now, there's also a nice lull in terms of the waves. And now we're dealing with 4 minutes left. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, while it is still open, what this does is it kind of cements in what our current ranking and standing is. And double checking here just to make sure I've got a connection and everything else. Hope everything's audible back at home, guys. We're bringing it to you live at the 2017 Aloha Classic. And yes, Shauna Kropas in first place, representing Canada, representing Neil Pride Windsurfing for a long time now. She's been with them. Originally from Canada, but also lived in Ireland for a while. I remember that's where I met her when the PWA came to Kerry County back in 2000. Anyway, Maria Andres solidly in second. She needs a mid-5, a 5.33 to be in first. And setting up for a wave ride here is Colette Guadagnino, sorry. That's how you say it. I finally got it right. Colette Guadagnino off the bottom. Nice little kick slash. Kind of board riding now. There's no wind. This is a glassy wave. Okay, you guys, like seriously, the wave is, the wind has pretty much come close to quit. There was no way she would have held back on that had there been wind in her sail, but she can barely even stay in front of the whitewater. So we're dealing with like 5 knots of wind here. And the fact that the scorecards are full is exactly why we're sailing a 30-minute heat. Really, 30 minutes, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
2-minute transition.
And it seems to go by pretty quickly when you're behind the mic, but it is what it is. And we'll see exactly what the decision here is. Right now, it's coming back a little. It's going to do this. It's going to fill in and fill out. You're going to get your opportunities to compete, but you're going to get your opportunities to swim, too. Okay, now we're under 2 minutes to go. Maria Andres holding position, square on the outside. And that's her on that north rig of the lower mid-right side of your screen. Everybody else in your shot are actually competitors from the next heat on.
Yeah, the wind is dead. Let's go water skiing. Let's go water skiing. It's just mellowed out here so well right now. We got a couple guys, competitors from the men's pro heats just starting to go out. We'll see how they can handle this.
Yeah. Some sort of wisdom for me to maybe think about the same thing. Consider this right now that if I see this next heat kind of commencing, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to leave you up here, Rob, because I don't want to kind of... No. Well, you know what? Like, maybe I should just wait for my heat to start and then go.
You could do that. You have plenty of time because no one else will be out there.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. At least Kai Lenny's not in my first heat. Bujma is, though, and Bujma's straight up gnarly. But that's kind of the beauty of it. This isn't an elimination situation by any stretch of the imagination. It's basically just your first heat, and it's going to place you kind of further along in the situation. Rob, time check.
We got 30 seconds left.
Okay, 30 seconds left with Shauna Kropas pretty much in the lead. And while I can't say nothing else is going to happen, it doesn't really appear as if there's anything really significant in the way, on the way, that's going to change this result. And I'm you know, both Shauna and Maria, I'm really hats off to both of them. They've sailed excellent heat, and absolutely Colette Guadagnino and Flora, you know, achieving a great level of riding.
Maria, in this heat, this should count.
Okay, there you have it. This is going to count towards Maria's final score.
She's got a nice way to deal with. Small but nice.
So they are going to go with women's heat number 4, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I just needed to know that in case this was actually my heat going out.
Okay, Kai, I got a good question for you.
Yes.
How many competitors in the Piahi Wave Challenge are doing the windsurf contest?
I have Francisco Porchella, one of them, and Kai Lenny, 2 of them.
Could there be more? Not that I know of, but that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. You've got a good point there. Are we going to go to commercial? Okay, let's go to commercial. We'll come right back. What sound does a guinea pig make when he squeals?
Not me, not me.
Thank you. How you feeling, Rudy? Back at you, 2017 Aloha Classic IWT Final PWA qualifier. We're in round 1, heat 4 of the women. And yeah, the wind's gotten lighter. And I haven't seen a good wave break in a little while, but we have these sequences where it starts firing. And Shauna Kropas definitely showed us what you can do in that last heat. Great heat, Shauna. And the rest. I mean, that was a really well sailed display there. Really a lot to do with being in the right place at the right time, Rob.
Shauna has wave knowledge here, and that's why she sailed so well in this thing. And like we were talking about Sarah before, positioning was everything, feel and all that. She knew she sailed it so much more. That's what really boosted her scores. And with Maria getting better, that was like a knockout, a big fight there, and they both handled going back and forth against each other.
Well stated. I agree. It's more of a surfer battle right now. You play into some of these less than typical strategical, plans. Right now the plan is to just stay where the waves are breaking so you can squeak into them. You don't have the normal level of mobility that you would have if it was windy. If it was windy, guys would just be magneting onto everything that moved out there. Here, it's got to be the wave comes to you and you're in the spot. And that sometimes isn't exactly skill. Sometimes it's pretty much luck. But right now, you've got to be good enough to create your luck, is basically what I take from this. Anyway, Heat 4 consists of, let me check my score here, Ana Maria Zoile, Sabine Zola, Vicky Abbott, and Adele Frola. Vicky Abbott, who I met first in Cabo Verde about 7 years ago, is a all-time shredder and hails from a location where the wind's predominantly side offshore and down the line. She adapted immediately. I mean immediately to Hokipa. She's riding Goya. And Ana Maria Zoile is on hot sails. And I believe that Sabine Zola is on Ezzy. She's a bright new face on tour. I was very impressed with her in Chile, Peru. And that was kind of her big arrival there. Now, up and riding on the Blue Goya is Vicky Abbott. And she really means business here. And I hope she can catch this. She's barely squeaking into it, and she's in. Vicky Abbott off the bottom right away. First scoring ride of this heat. Here goes Vic. Really caressed that high line good. What a bottom turn from Vicky Abbott. Full commitment. And watch this. Oh, I thought something was going to get hit. She definitely had plans to hit that. But you know what? She stayed up. And that's going to be her first scoring ride and the first score of this heat. Sooner than later, I will be heading out to get into position myself here. Wonder who we could back up for you, Rob. You're going to probably just take this on your own, maybe.
I think I can handle it for a while. Then if I see someone that's one of us to enjoy the contest with me up here, then we'll bring them on, or her, depending on who it is. And so, as we can see here, if they do pan out, you can see how all the competitors are just not really accessing any wind. Kai Lenny's way down at lanes. All the guys, it's just tough right now. They're just trying to make it out. Vicky's last wave, she had a really good ride, nice turns, but now she's in irons with no wind on the inside. So it's just the conditions are very marginal again, but like I said, you never know. It can turn here.
Yeah, pretty much based on that, Rob, I'm going to go out. I don't think I have time to play around. It's like I look at Bujma, he's barely moving. It might take me a half an hour to get to where he is. So I'm going to go skip out there and catch you when it's done if they count it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, Kai, good luck.
Thank you. So far, so good. It's really nice and comfortable up here, actually, but off I go.
Okay, now everyone, you're stuck with me, which is going to be all right, I hope. So here we have Anna Maria setting up for a nice wave. So she is dropping in, setting up high. She's going to come down and bottom turn on this wave. She's got a nice little thing to hit, but she has to straighten out and it hits her back. So again, this is what I mean. You go, and she needed to drive up a little bit higher, but she doesn't have the wind to get up that high. Got a little lull in the action, looking out with the drone.
Sit up straight so I can frame you in.
Okay, folks, welcome back with me. I have another Simmer team rider here with me, Rudy Castorina. And when you'll see what he looks like when the camera does get back here, but we have a competitor on this wave. And coming off the top, I gotta find out who this is.
So, we have Adele. I don't know if that's Adele.
That was Adele Fraiola. Yeah, it was Adele Fraiola on that last wave.
Size wave, but she did work it a little bit. So we'll see what the results are. Some girls don't have a wave yet, I think, under their belt, so that's always good.
Oh, that was yeah. We've only had a two-wave exchange right now with Anna and Adele.
Where'd it go? Oh, we can see a nice set coming in right now. Yeah, hi everybody, taking on the mic right now, Rudy Castorina. We see a nice set rolling in right now. I don't know if any of the competitors are going to be able to catch it. We see one girl right there on the outside pumping for it. Here on the easy sails, nice size wave, the biggest of that hit yet. Nice bottom turn, going for top turn right under the lip. Oh, is she going to clear it? Yes, that's nice. It's going to be a nice little Sabina.
Yeah,
yes.
She's new on the tour. She's from Italy, Senegalese Italian young lady, beautiful girl, and she's been out here for the last couple of weeks and just learning Ho'okipa, and she hasn't had the best conditions, and she's like Flora. They're rookies out here, and they're doing really, really well.
Yeah, definitely a hard day for a rookie out there because the wind is really light. There's some nice set coming. Though on the good side, the sets are like a lot of time in between, so that helps you to get out. It's not like consistent sets pounding you into the rocks. Right now, as we're talking, we see, I think it's Vicky. Is this Vicky?
Yes.
No, yes, in the rocks right there. No, Vicky's outside. No, Vicky's outside right there, all safe. But one of the girls is right here battling to escape the rocks right in front of us. And it looks like she's gonna make it, but you see the conditions are really light. We do see a couple of the men going out right now, trying to get ready. It's gonna take a while to get up to the peak, so going early, it's a good decision.
How big how size is Kai's sail on board? He's got big stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, I believe he's like 5'3" at least, and maybe I would say like 88 liters or something like this, maybe 90. Yeah, it looks like it's filling in for a second right now, but definitely when you're sailing a hit like this, you don't want to end up too much downwind. You don't want to get closed out. You want to try to really sail smartly. Back to you, Rob.
Okay, Adele on another little wave, but she's going to kick out of this and head back out for a better positioning. As you see, Sabine, man, she's got some wind on her sailing out now, so the wind has filled back in for the moment. Close it. And it's really hard to see because we need some dark. Okay. I mean, get black. Oh yeah.
That's good. So that's what's on the live, yeah.
Yeah. So here we have Sabine on a nice peak wave. If she can pump her sail and get into this, she is going to get this wave. And she is, she just missed it. But if she can hang back for this next one.
We see Vicky in the back right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can watch right here.
And here's Adele Friola. She's got a nice peak at wave here on the end. H Poco. She's going to come down. Bottom turn on this thing. Nice bottom turn and off the top. Good combination right there. And then she caught a rail just like a few of the other girls have been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So they're coming up tight, but they don't have that wind just to give them the lift to push them down.
Looks like Vicky's position to catch that next wave. Hopefully she'll be able to.
Okay, here we go with Vicky.
Here we go.
Vicky's fading into this
That's
wave.
better right there. Yeah, Vicky right there, definitely one of the top riders, top female riders of the keeper. Nice.
Smart move. She kicks out on that closeout and is going to head back out once she gets up.
As you guys can see, the wind is really light right here. The competitors are having a bit of a hard time going up. This is why the 30 minutes heats are crucial in order to try to get the most point out of this. We can see in the back a couple of the main riders, Kaika Chadorian, Danielle, and who else? No, Vicky going upwind right now. Is that inside?
So we have in this heat, we have Anna Maria Zole, we have Sabine Zola, Vicky Abbott, and Adele Freola. Looks like a pretty heavy Italian lineup there, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, in fact. Do we have the result from the heat before?
We have no results as of yet, but I'm sure we will get them. But we're almost sure that it was Shauna taking that heat. Actually, we do have the results. Shauna did take that heat, and Maria was second. Maria Andreas was second. And then off the end,
here's a nice wave rolling in. It looks like a one-wave set, two-wave set maybe, but it doesn't look like any of the girls are going to catch it.
now, like we said before, the wind, it was coming in and coming out, but it's really, really starting to be more fickle is a good word to use, I guess. Here we are at the 2017 Aloha Classic Maui. You have Rob Funk here with Rudy Castorina. Welcome everybody. Wherever time zone you're in, if you're up really late in Europe, hey, you guys are great for hanging out, man. I hope you have a beer. And here we have Anna Maria setting up for a wave.
Yes.
A little bit ahead of it there. Smart move, that's why she wanted to kick out of it. There was nothing worth riding right there.
You can see a little bit of wind on the outside filling in. You can see some white caps. I don't know if you guys can catch that on the... We can see a little bit of wind filling in the back over there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the live cast. There's like a little bit of some gust coming in. I hope its set is going to manifest at the same time to give a chance to the competitors to express themselves. That would be great.
Get ready for the blue.
And here we have Sabine on a really nice wave. She's really catching some nice waves here.
Definitely.
As you sail, setting up a little high. She might want to slow. A nice little off the top there. She's just getting a feel for the wave right there. This girl, I'm so stoked for this girl. She's doing so good.
Second move,
Yeah.
wrapping around, doing the best
Yeah.
of it.
She's going to have a nice scoring wave here.
Yes.
With Vicky Abbott in the background, we don't see that yet, but we will. Nice dig, and then she dug a rail just like pretty much everyone else has been doing. And Vicky Abbott comes off the top of a nice wave, flying down the line. As she comes into her turn, she's going to try and make this corner, but she knows she's not going to, so she straightens out, and that, again, is lack of wind, but she used that wave for as much power as possible to help her get in the right position. And, again, a quick exchange here. Anna Maria in the back on a smaller wave, but a clean one, nice off the top. She's going to come in, and that thing's going to close out on her. Well, that was a quick exchange there for all three girls. This is fun to watch right now. It kind of picked up the action there.
Totally.
And I want to thank all our sponsors again. The main sponsors, Maui County, the Eternal Riders, and Dakine. With our local sponsors right here around Maui and the North Shore, Cafe Mambo, Casanova, Deep Relief, the Kual Store, Nalukai Lodge, North Shore Maui Rent-A-Car, Rock and Brews, good place to watch a baseball game and a football game, Chinook, Mama's Fish House. The local tour sponsors, we have Ezzy Sails, Hot Sails, iWindsurf, Nash, Pritchard Windsurfing, Ronston, Sign Solutions, Simmer, Solo Sports, Streamline, Windsurfing Now, Wind and Waves. Thank you, everybody, for sponsoring us. This really helps out so much and gets us on live for you guys to watch this. And if you ever come to Maui, hey, you guys know where to eat, you know where to get your equipment, and you know who to talk to in the county, and where to get your religious uplifting sayings by Pascal Hardy.
Totally.
Dakine. Everyone from surfing to windsurfing to kiting, stand-up paddling. Dakine is for everybody. That's what Dakine is. Okay, Vicky Abbott going on a high line on this wave. Bottom turn, she almost caught a rail there and bouncing around. The wave was a little bumpy on that one. But she's going to be going out, kicks out of that one. It was a nice scoring wave. Wasn't a big wave, but she had a clean scoring wave on that.
Yes. She's probably leading the heat, I think.
I would think so, too.
Yes. She definitely get the biggest wave of the heat and had some nice carve. She's definitely, Vicky Abbott definitely a reaper, and that likes big waves too. She prepared herself all year long to go out in the big surf. And she was out on the last swell, actually. She has partners going out with the girls' team, and they go charge.
She even rides Jaws, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. Windsurfing, and I think she went in the big outside reef paddling also. She's getting herself ready to go paddle out there. Wow, that's heavy.
She ain't scared. That's one thing. She is fearless in big waves. It's fun to see her out there. Her attitude is perfect. So just remember that. When you see a girl on a wave and it's really big, hey, she might be better than you.
Totally. Beautiful end of day here on Maui. It's a little bit overcast, but the sun is piercing through. Sunset coming in, the wind light. Surfers are having a blast here at Middles and at Pavilions. It looks like it all set for the men's heat to go on. Can't wait.
So we got just about 12 minutes left in this heat, and just in case you guys are looking out, if it looks hazy to you on your screen, we have a phenomenon, I can't say the word, but from the Big Island, Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa, and the volcanoes, we get the smoke and the haze that comes from when the winds switch from the south. It comes all over the rest of the state, the rest of the islands. And so what happens, it really makes it like almost like a smoggy, but we call it VOG for volcano. So just so you know, when you see it, it's not totally blue skies. Doesn't mean it's not warm and windy out here. It's just the VOG with the wind switching more out of the southern direction. Little lull in the action here.
Yeah, we see Sabine that just made it out.
And good thing is she made it straight out. She didn't have to bust the channel.
Yeah. She made it out. She's ready. She looks like she has some good equipment. She must be really light. She managed to move around the field pretty quickly.
She is.
Going upwind, grabbing the waves early. Yeah, we're just saying that it seems like Sabine is really comfortable with her gear, moving quickly into the field right now, going upwind, passing the, going out. That's nice to see. Catching the waves early. Looks like the wind is going to fill in. Upwind, it looks like the white caps out there. Nice set rolling through down at lanes. A couple sailors out there getting ready, tuning their gear. With Sky Lenny and some friends. Back to the live action. We see a nice set rolling in. Looks like Vicky Abbott is in position to grab it, and she's pumping and she's catching it. Wow, really nice condition. The wind has turned more offshore. Condition that she's used to a little bit from Cabo Verde. Here she's setting up. A bit of a down the line, going for bottom turn, setting up for a nice top turn. First contact, second, boom, contact with an air. Oh, made it behind, but clean. That's really nice. It's definitely leading this hit. Nice size wave, nice move, clean ride. Who else is in the back right there? It looks like, who is this with the hot sail?
That's Anna Maria Zola.
Anna Maria Zola, yes. Anna Maria Zola in position, maybe to catch this medium-sized wave. Anna Maria seems like it's going to be a score. Yeah. She's on the wave. Okay. She's going to position herself a little bit, go upwind. What's the wave going to do? Boom, going for bottom turn right in front of Vicky. Little top turn right there. Maybe a second session in the ball. Little of the top. That was clean. Definitely some scoring. Here, Adela Frola for first little top turn. Medium-sized wave. Boom, contact with the lip. That was nice. She made it as 2 moves. And she's coming out clean. That's going to be a nice little score too. Definitely for some rookies out there, not an easy day, and we can see that Vicky Abbott here, a local, sailing here for a couple of years and used to those kind of conditions, side offshore winds and bigger waves, is confident and leading this hit.
So all of you people out there, just to let other people know, to watch this thing live, go to ridescoremobile.com or internationalwindsurfingtour.com, and you can watch this whole thing live when we're on. Great action out here. Even for a marginal day out here, we're still seeing some really good sailing out here by the women that just started off. It's just about 7.5 minutes left in this heat before we go into the first men's pro round. I got Kai, who got out there pretty quick from after leaving the stage here.
Yeah, in position. Who is that first hit, the man? Boujma. So in the first heat, right after this, we have opening the men, Boujma Gilul, the flying Moroccan, Kai Kachadorian, Andrea Francini, and Daniel Di Rosa. That's a nice hit. Followed by hit number 2 with Maxime Février from France, Chris Freeman, Rick Markham, and Tom Garcia. Again, it looks like Vicky is in position to grab a hit. I don't know if you guys can see that. We see Boujma right now, yes, zooming up a little bit. We see Vicky pumping in position. She's moving really good in the field. Pumping to grab the wave. Yes, and she's catching it. She looks like a little bit of a medium size, but great scoring possibility. Here she goes, lining up. Bottom turn. Nice top turn around the house. Up second turn. That's nice and flowy. And she goes for third turn, contact, and out the back. It's like, how many waves did she get? Maybe about like 5 or something, 5, 6. We don't have the live scores right now. We can see Kai on the outside right there, ready to go. It's all amped. On the hotel, that's Santa Maria Zole.
Yeah, that's Santa Maria on this wave right here. Dropping in about a head high little nugget at the top, riding it well. A little bit ahead of it. She probably got a little too ahead of that particular wave. She could have had another hit and then kicked out. But she's right in there. She's been actually having a good heat, a little bit quieter. But we do know one thing about Vicky. She's probably going to win this heat, but we know an Italian's going to finish second.
Yes. So Vicky Adele.
Okay, we're looking at Kai Ketchadorian out the back.
He almost can't help himself.
Yeah.
To catch one of those set waves. Who is that? Bujma also?
Yeah.
Can we see the live action with the surfer right there coming in the frame? No.
No.
How many cameras do we have? There's one. And where is the second one going?
There's
One go, one here, and
one right here and here.
okay.
Just kind of just say loudly like, oh, I'm switching something
Oh,
else
yeah,
like that.
okay. Cool. Sounds great. Yeah, thanks.
You know what I think we probably had to restart?
Yeah, with stick neck. You can see I'm like looking in and out like hard.
Okay, we have Adela setting up for this wave. She should be fading back into the steeper part of the wave if she gets into it. She's into it.
Yeah.
As she fades upwind, she's going to hold her spot right there.
Good riding potential right there.
Good scoring wave. She's a little ahead of it. She's just faded a little bit more, but she still is going to get a scoring wave.
Really nice set at length.
Mhm.
Sometimes they could put the camera towards there just to see some cool action. Boom. Ooh.
Still live on John.
Oh, I don't know if you guys saw that on the screen, but a nice surfer got a nice off the top surfing that middle rights, or actually green tree rights. It's the type of day where if you're free sailing, this is when the guys that are just finishing work want to come out and surf, and there's still windsurfers out. It's marginal for both, but they're all out there having fun.
Definitely the condition that windsurfing is as close as surfing. I mean, wave sailing, you know.
Oh, it really is.
Yes.
This is
really
the
light wind. Go up really slowly and just position yourself to the peak. Oh yeah, Mike. So who do we see right here? I think this is Sabine. Sabine Zola pumping. No. Again, Vicky knows. Again in position. We can see Bujma upwind. Oh, we have 2 minutes and 50 seconds in this heat. I don't know if Bujma knows that, but he can't help himself. Yes, he's gonna stop. Keep his gear and his energy for his heat. Really, some really nice set coming through. You gotta wait and be patient, and it's a really strategic hit. You don't want to end up too low. You want to keep the little bit of wind that there is to go upwind. Okay, do we see right here? Yeah, we see 3 girls from the heat. Vicky Abbott on the Goya sail on the left side. Anna Maria Zole, and then Sabine Zola. Yeah. Yes. No problem. Yeah. Lanes are some good ones.
Yeah. Okay, we have some lines coming in now. Girls are setting up. We're just about a minute and a half left in this heat, and we have a really nice set coming in off the point.
This could really make the difference for place number 2.
Here's
Go ahead.
Vicky setting up on this wave, bottom turning, comes out the top, nice off the top, and she's gonna get this whole wave, and then she kicks out of it. She was kicking out of it, but she dropped down on the end of that. And there's the second wave.
Who's gonna get that one? Looks like Sabine Zola.
Sabine is right there.
Come on, Sabine.
She's gonna be pumping her sail.
Sabine, come on.
If we could get the camera to Sabine, she's gonna be in it. She is in it now. This is a nice scoring wave for Sabine. She's doing really, really good. Now this wave's going to close out of her. So the thing was, she goes down pretty good, hard. But the thing is, she went for that wave that was, you know, too hard to work with. It was closing out. She could only do one quick maneuver, but she got the wave. It's a scoring wave. And we're coming down to 30 seconds left into the heat. We could have two rides here. Anna Maria Zole is setting up for this one wave, but it looks like she didn't make it in. But off to the point, we have Adele Frola. If we can get the camera to Adele on the Severn sail. She's going to have a nice wave here.
Blue.
The blue sail, here we go. And she's going to come off the top of this. Nice wave. Good timing by the cameraman. And one hit wonder, but she had a scoring wave and couldn't have asked for better timing. She needed that score.
Here we are, yeah. 2 minutes before the main hit starts. It looks like it's going. Here we go.
You ready?
Yes.
For his first wave, he's got the first scoring wave of the heat. But this is my friend, good friend, Rudy Castorina sitting here with us as we watch Kai finish up with a nice little aerial. Kai got a good first scoring wave.
Right off the back.
Yeah.
He was on the wave. Right on the back of the back. When the horn went on, Kai was already on the wave. I think with 2 turns and a nice air to finish. So it's a nice way to open the heat. A lot of confidence in him. That's really good. He looks like he's moving really well. The wind seems like it's not about to go away, but really, he said he's like sailing on a 5-3 and about almost a 90 leaderboards. We can see Daniel De Rosa on the back over there, full planning. That's nice. Jibing. He's going to try to grab that set. There's a little bit of battle right here to know who's going to grab the wave. Looks like Daniel has it coming in. Riding with S2 sails. Daniel coming from Italy right here. Yes, here we go. He's lining up. Looking good. Nice bottom turn. Little roundhouse. That was nice. Here we go, what is happening? Nice little second bottom turn, another little roundhouse. Up, we're cutting off to Andrea Francini. Right here, bottom turn, nice. Aggressive top turn, little snap. That was nice again. And second move, boom, going for an air. That was nice also. Boujma off the back. Flying Moroccan is going really nicely down bottom turn. Wow, really nice gauge at the top, throwing buckets. 1 turn, 2 turn, repositioning himself. Boom, A little bit of an air floaty right here. That was nice. Really good exchange. So every rider has a waves right now under their belt. It's really nice. Nice little zoom out to see the situation. Okay, we see other riders also going out right now to prepare themselves for the next heat. We can feel the heat going up. Everybody's getting ready. The conditions are somehow a little bit getting better because the wind is picking up a tiny bit, a couple knots. I think the Guru and the iWindsurf has predicted that. That's nice, right on point.
So just to let you guys know that after this, we're going to do one more men's heat after this first men's heat, and that should finish us for the day. So so everyone just keeping on top of everything.
I'm not sure who is this rider, if he's part of the heat or not.
He's not in this heat.
He's not. So here we go. We see Kai setting up right here. Nice air of the first section right here. Is he gonna have more possibility to contact with the lip? No. Second score for Kai. Feels confident. A little head move. Okay, looks like the sets are coming in non-stop right now. Yeah, so we see Daniel right now. Daniel De Rosa pumping to try to get this wave. It's going to be hard a little bit. A lot of meat on this wave upwind. He's going upwind. Okay, here we go. Little backside. Setting up for medium size. Bottom turn. Top turn. Nice little slash. Second contact with the lip. He's going for a third little move. No, he's just going to kick out. That was nice. Second wave under his belt. Okay. Andrea Foncini right here, pumping. Yes, he got the wave. Nice little size wave. I would say medium plus, going backside. We see a lot of aggressive style from Andrea. Let's see what he has in the bag. Bottom turn, nice. Oh, nice gouge, slash. Is he going to get this? Oh, yes. That was a good move. 1 and 2. Contact with the lip. So a lot of speed in his style. And nice air to finish. Is he going to make it? Is he going to stand up out of that? Yes. That's a good scoring wave. 3 move, 3 contact, plus 1 reposition. Maybe the biggest score of this heat so far.
That was a good wave that Daniel. That was Andrea. Okay, yes. What a good wave he had. That's one of the best, highest scoring waves we've seen so far. Sitting out the back. See Bujma tacking out of that one because I think he sees something better. So you got plenty of time left in this heat. With a big set coming in on the outside, you guys look outside Bujma there. If you pan to the left, you see where Kai is setting up for a really nice wave at the point. Kai's got one of the best waves of the day. I can see Kai just making this drive, catching his rail, fading backside at the top. He couldn't have done that better. Kai's doing exactly what we were talking about earlier. He's using that board more than he's using the sail. Kai's got a really good scoring wave, and nice little floater. And makes it back in. What a great wave. And then we go back out the back to Bujma, who's got a really good scoring wave too. But this one's going to close out on him. I don't think so. Yeah, one more hit. Bujma, and pulls it off. That was a really good exchange between Bujma and Kai.
Yeah, a really radical ride. Really radical ride from Bujma. All in the late section, all under the lip. That's really nice to see. Do you have a charger?
What was that?
No, charger.
Oh, charger. Is it iPhone?
Yeah.
I don't have the. I have this, but I don't have the. Use it yet. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, like I said before, plenty of time left in this heat. You know, wind conditions are pretty tough.
For us?
As we go into this, Kai, everyone trying to make it back out. Looking out at Daniel De La Rosa.
That's me. We would need to get some scores. Oh, yeah? It would be nice.
Sorry, we can't get you any scores right off the bat right now. We lost our access with wave scores because it was Kai's phone. So we're going to try and work it up
Oh, yeah.
and go from there. Actually, we might be able to do it now. I will find out some scores for you.
That's yours. Not just making some space.
21 and a half minutes left in this heat. Sorry about that, gang. As we have competitors going out, probably just to go sail down at lanes.
So, international windsurfing tour.com.
Okay, see Bujma sailing out right now. As you can see, the wind is not howling. Little light on that action. Kai's sitting outside of Bujma. Basically what they're doing is setting up to be in the right spot. They know they got plenty of time. They got wave scores in. Like Bujma coming onto this one might tack onto this, and he does. And Bujma, will he get this wave? He's going to get it. Oh, yeah. And he fades upwind. And he's sitting high on the wave. Bujma coming in, bottom turning right here. Nice snap off the top. He's going to try and make this corner. He's not going to make the corner. And he's not going to even make the rest of the wave. That was a tough wave to ride for Bujma. He made the most out of it by tacking on it and then getting what he could. When you have no wind and you're riding a wave, you got to really start using the wave for your power. Wouldn't you say that, Rudy?
Yes, totally. It's really a surfer approach to it, where the sail become secondary.
That's a
Scores right now on the live cast.
just under 19 minutes left in this heat.
Okay, so here.
I'm going to hand the mic to Rudy, and he's going to give us an update on the scoring.
So here we go now, access to the scores. In position number 1 out of this last refresh, we have Bujma Gilul with 2 wave scoring and a total of 14.1. Then we have position number 2, Kai Kachalorian from Finland with 12. 3, we have Andrea Francini from Italy with 10.17, and Daniel Di Rosa in position number 4, 7.26. So it seems like the radical approach from Bujma on those waves really paid off, and the size of the waves of Kai also as number 2 position. Yes, Bujma Gilul is winning by 2.1. Here we go, Andrea Francini in a smaller size wave. Okay, he decided to kick out. I understand. That's a good decision. In order to get points here, the size of a wave is critical. you need to have a nice size. We see Daniel De Rosa coming out of the back, planning. What is he gonna do? Okay, he's gonna wait to catch the next wave. What about Kai? He's all the way to the back. We can see Daniel pumping to try to catch that one. The wind, a bit of wind that there is quite offshore, but let him in easy. Okay, he's fading in. We can see the surfers also leaving a right of way. Medium-sized wave. Okay, is he lining up for a section? Bottom turn. Nice off the top. A little bit of spray coming out. Boom, aerial. That was clean. And a third little turn. That was a nice scoring. Is he gonna up his scores? Maybe. Okay, after the refresh, Daniel De Rosa. Who do we see? Yeah, we can see a nice set coming in, but more into the channel and lanes. I don't know if he's gonna hit Okipa. We can see the 3 rider at the top, all going upwind right now to make sure to catch the best wave of the set when he's gonna come in. That's a classic technique of positioning. This is how you do it here. Okipa, Kai, tacking. It's gonna be at least 3 wave sets. Okay, the last refreshed, Bujma is in the lead by 2.1. Dorian with 2 nice scoring wave, a 6.33 for his first ride and a 5.67 for his last one, which was the bigger size wave. Okay, Andrea Francini still in 3rd position. Okay, how long do we have here, Rob? Okay, 15 minutes left on this heat. So basically we're halfway through, so everything can change, everything can go up. The riders know what to do, waiting for the biggest wave they can find. Really nice set coming here at lanes. I don't know if you have a pan over there. A couple guys almost planning going out. So about 10 riders out there. Here, I pass the mic to Rob.
So as the swell that was down at lanes is starting to fill in over here, you see Kai and Bujma and Andrea just setting up for this oncoming wave. They're going to pump onto it, but Kai's probably in the best position to get this wave because he's going to run down the line. And he decided he didn't want it because of Bujma. He gave the priority to Bujma. Good call. Bujma going through all the surfers. If you see, there's a bunch of surfers down in the nice. Bujma late gets his clues stuck in the back of the wave, and kind of, I don't know if the surfers maybe messed him up on that wave, but here's Andrea. He's coming in. He's got a nice little wave to work with. Not as big as Bujma's. More opened up. Nice off the top. Send some spray out the back. Another one, a little caught his rail there. He's going to come up and do a little floater here, and he is finished with that wave in a bad way. But he got a nice scoring wave at the beginning of part of it. Now, you can ride as many waves as you want in a heat, but you're going to only be scored on your best 2. So a lot of people, you'll see, they may ride a lot of little waves and stuff like that, and then there's guys that are patient and just wait outside and will catch, you know, maybe 3 or 4 waves to your 10 and 11. And so that's just the idea on how the wave scoring goes. We're in the second half of this heat. You can tell how the wind is actually affecting the contest now by the fact that you're going to have more and more surfers paddling out. And they have every right to be out here. That's the one thing about Hawaii. Most of them are very knowledgeable about what's going on. They'll do their best to stay out of the way during the contest. But when the wind moves offshore, a lot of guys tend to go upwind more because that's where the better part of the wave is. And that's why the surfers are up there, because they know where the better part of the wave is also.
We can see at the back right here, exchange. We can see at the back right here, exchange with Daniel pumping to catch this wave. Here on the front, Andrea going bottom turn, up, top turn. As nice, he's going around the section. I don't know what is at the end. The thing is closing. He's hoping to make it. No. Okay, Daniel right here, bottom turn, roundhouse in the open face. Okay, setting up. A nice second top turn right here with a lot of spray. And 2, get a lot of speed out of that. To the slash, that's 3 contact with the lip. He seems happy with himself a little bit with that one. Okay, now we see Kai. Kai grabbing this wave and Bujma behind him. Okay, what is he gonna do? Okay, a really nice wave lining up right here. Really clean and glassy. Bottom turn. Nice top turn with the lip, little floater coming down. And number 2, that was a nice aggressive turn. And 3, as we see Bujma right off the back, aggressive bottom turn. Really nice top turn under the lip. Keep throwing buckets. And 3, third move. That's nice. He's riding this all the way to the end, but finishes in the white water. We can feel the intensity of Bujma when he's riding, the same with Sky, giving everything they have to keep the power. You have no mistake here, like the wind will not help you to go upwind. It's all in the speed you gather from the wave.
So we're sitting here just about 11 minutes left in this heat. That's a competitor from the next heat, just getting ready for his heat and staying outside. Looks like we have Andrea catching a wave off the point here. It's gonna fade upwind. He's gonna get to the steepest part of the wave and let it just lift him up because he's gonna need that wave for his power. His sail isn't gonna help much. So now he's a little deep. He's gonna come down, bottom turns, nice spray out the top, back doors it, comes up, hits a little floater right here, nice aerial into the new section. Nice wave for Andrea for what it was, and cuts a nice carving cutback right in the midsection of that face, and he gouged that wave.
Yes.
That was a really fun wave to watch Andrea ride. He did everything he could do on that wave to score as much as he can. And we still got lines out there.
I don't know though if it's going to be enough. I don't know though if it's going to be enough for Andrea to jump in the second position, as he need at least an 7 to jump up.
Okay, now we have Bujma. Looks like he's pumping into this wave. Hey, Bujma staying high on the wave. He's been having some nice waves, but he's not finishing them like he normally would. Here he is taking a high line, big aerial right here coming up. Nice one. He floats in. Again, catches his clue, but floated through it. One hit wonder on that one. Nice little off the top floater there. That's going to score him some waves. He is about as close to the rocks as anyone that doesn't want to be there is. And he was there with pleasure.
So as of now, we still have Bujma in position number 1. As of now, we still have Bujma in leading the heat. Kai, Andrea Francini, and Daniel Di Rosa. Okay, we have about 8 minutes left in the heat. A nice set is rolling in. Who is gonna nice exchange? He looked like Daniel Di Rosa is gonna grab the last one of the heat. Last one of the set. Okay. Here we go, it's fading in order to have plenty wall to work with. Let's see Daniel upping his game right here. Avoiding the surfer. All right, catching some speed of the bottom turn. Nice top turn. Finishing his curve all the way to whitewater, wrapping around. And second turn. And finishing off with a little one hand right here. Gonna give him a little extra points. You can tell he's having fun.
Yeah, when you get Hokipa with 4 other people out, who doesn't have fun? Or 3 other people.
Yes, I agree. Overhead sets coming through. Some little logo head-eye sets coming through. Light wind. We can see there is 4 other competitors out there waiting for their turn. Looks like the hit number 2 is gonna be the last one of the day.
For sure, the last one of the day.
Yeah, for sure, the last one of the day. We have Jake here with us from Ariel Maui. He's gonna provide us with some great drone action in the next days coming. Okay, is it time for the sponsors with the French accents? And we have the Maui County, Eternal Rider, The Kind, those are our main sponsors. And then the local guys are the Cafe Mambo, Casanova, Deep Relief, Kuao Store, Nalukai Lodge, North Shore Maui Rent a Car, Rock and Brews, Chinook, and Mama's Fish House. As for the tour sponsors, we have Easy Sails, Hot Sails, High Windsurf, Nash, Pritchard Windsurfing, Ronstan, Sign Solutions, Seamer, Solo Sports, Streamline, Windsurfing Now, and Wind and Waves. Thank you guys for participating to this, keeping the dream alive, and allowing us, all the competitors, to have a great adventures and competing in the best parts of the world. Here we have Andrea on the wave right here, live, going. You can see the surfers right here, waiting for you to not catch the wave. Okay, Andrea has like a medium-sized waves going straight through the surfers. Ooh! Had a little exchange with the surfer that didn't see him coming. Classic moves here. Oh, nice air for Andrea. Straight back inside. I wonder this might not score too much by the size of the wave. I think the judges are really paying attention to catching the biggest one you can. And here we see Kai right now. Kai coming in with a decent sized wave, fading in a little bit, choosing his line to try to work this one as much as he can. Okay, right now diving into a nice bottom turn. Oh, nice top turn with a slash and throwing buckets. A nice spray. It's going to be a one-turn wonder. And we have about 5 minutes left in the hits. Probably enough time for those two guys inside, Andrea and Kai, to go back out. Bujma pumping, catching a medium-sized wave. Is he going to make it? Yes, it's an upwind one. He's going to have to go through the surfers. All right, what is going on? We can see them paddle. Okay. Here we go. Bujma down the line. Going for a nice little tweak air, but the wave doesn't have so much to offer him after. Okay, he's still in a good position right now to catch a nice set wave coming in.
Just to let everyone know, on that exchange where the surfer was dropping in on the wave with Andrea Francini, in my opinion on that one, that was kind of a bummer that the surfer would do that, because he knows there's a contest, and it's very rare that happens. But I can tell, be honest with you, and if the guy was standing here, that guy doesn't surf well enough to be in a position that he's in, because I've been watching him surf, and it's sad that he got in the way. Most of the other guys, 90% of other people would be really cool about our situation here. But Andrea, what a man. He powered right through that and actually had a nice wave. So you'll see the surfers, actually you'll see if the ski's up there, you can see he's actually asking them if they can move up a little bit. You know, they technically don't have to, but that's the way it is. Okay, now here comes Bujma setting off on a really nice wave at the point. He's going to come driving down. We can get on Bujma. Here he is, nice work. Off the top, nice wave. He's going to go try and fly the line to make the corner. Late hit, and he's done that a couple times. And then we have Danielle coming off the top with another nice wave. Right behind him, big aerial. And he's going to float down through that. He's going to come right by Bujma. And behind is Andrea Francini, another. So this has been a quick exchange of 3 waves in a row, with Kai sitting out the back waiting for this other one. Nice high line for Daniel. Okay. And yes, he did. A little aerial there. Made it. Kai dropping in on this wave off the top. He's got this one setting up perfectly. He knows exactly where he wants to be. Going to come up little late on that wave because that's the wind. He's going to aerial it here. Nice little aerial. Float through it. And yes, he will make it. all 4 riders got a great exchange out of that. Kai coming in by the rocks. Just 2.5 minutes left in this heat.
Oh, can we see Kai going through the rocks?
And Kai sailing right through the rocks.
Like inside
Heli tacks right inside the rocks. We can't see it, but it's pretty cool when guys aren't afraid of the rocks.
Okay, this rider coming in right now is just coming in from outside and not in the contest. That's a nice little move right here. It's Victor Fernandez.
Former world champion.
Former world champion.
Runner-up this year.
Runner-up this year. Amazing guy, amazing heart, amazing rider in any kind of condition. Side shore, 50 knots to side offshore here. Okay, let's have a result at the live score really quick. Gonna have a no. Trying to get a look at the result right now. Maybe here on your screen you can have the result and know who is. Okay, so slowly. Okay, so we have still Buj Magilul in the lead. Kai Kachadorian number 2, Andrea Francini number 3, and Daniel Di Rosa in the 4th. The new scores haven't come up. It looks like the sailors are going out right now with another minute and 20 seconds left. I don't know if that's going to be enough to catch another set, if a set's going to come in. The wind didn't really back off, which we would believe at this time would, but it actually stayed even a little bit more consistent. Really beautiful condition. The haze have been lifting, the sun came out a tiny bit. The colors are beautiful right now in its end of day on the Maui North Shore. Beautiful first day of the Aloha Classic 2017 from the International Windsurfing Tour. And I don't know if you've been reading the news, but this event is going to be a qualifier for the World Cup also of next year. So that's a really good news and opportunity for people who want to join the World Tour for next year. It's about 20 seconds left in the heat. Who's going to have the last exchange? We see Andrea pumping right here. He's going to get it. He's going to count. Let's see. He's giving everything he has.
And he needs this wave. Boy, does he need this wave to boost him up to third. But or the second, I mean, from third. But you know the funny thing is, he's in a... Nah, this wave probably won't count. Will they give it to him? We'll see what happens. Let's watch Andrea's wave here. It's not much of a wave, so it's not going to really matter anyways. He should understand that now. I mean, he's coming into the end of this shoulder. He should just sail in.
Yeah, he had a nice little off the top. He gave everything he had. Okay, we are running to commercial right now. We have a 2-minute transition to the next hit. Aloha Classic 2017.
Okay, this is our first heat on this wave. Kai Lenny, who is one of the competitors in the Piahi contest, comes off the bottom. sets up high, nice quick scoring wave right at the buzzer. Kai Lenny is
Not in this heat.
except for the fact that he's not in this heat, but it looked good. So I take all that back. I should have looked at who is in this heat. We have Maximum Fevrier.
Yes, we have Maxime Février from France, sailing with Simmer. Chris Freeman sailing with Goya. Then we have Rick Markham with Neil Pride and Tony Garcia with Easy. Maxime Février, up-and-coming rider on the AWT2. Yeah, Maxime Février, up-and-coming rider from the IWT Tour. He went most of the tour this year. I think he's sitting in 5th right now. Chris Freeman, owner of Black Project Fins, also competitor. Rick Markham, former World Tour competitor and also active owner of the Kainalu here in Paia, Kainalu Lodge, one of the sponsors, main sponsors of the event. It's nice to see you out there. And Tom Garcia from United States. Puerto Rico, New York. Nice. Good condition then. It's probably feeling good right now here because I know in Puerto Rico it's pretty light winds, and here we go for our first exchange. Chris Freeman, upwind going through the surfers, medium-sized wave, taking a lot of speed, bottom turn, opening, not gonna make it. Cut a rail. That's it. May have cut a leash too. Hopefully the surfers are gonna move up a little bit. That would be nice. They seem courteous to get out of the way, but it's always another distraction. Already have plenty going on through your mind when it's your heat.
Jay, go buzz the surfers.
Yes. So we can maybe see a little drone flying here. No, we don't. Okay. Okay, now the Neil Prime. Here's Rick Markham, owner of the Kainalu Lodge, coming in with a medium-sized wave. He's getting the surfers to move. Gathering some speed, a little bit of a backside. Up, going, and no, swimming, get buried by this wave. Again, here we go on the Goya. Chris Freeman, medium-sized wave, nice little air, and purling straight down. Okay, a little bit of adjustment for those two riders still going on. In the back, we have Maxime Février. I heard on the beach that his technique is to catch the biggest wave he can for that seat. I think it's a good technique. Yeah. All right. We see Chris Freeman like planning outside. A nice little gust came through. It's kind of hard condition. You don't know. It's kind of light inside. So a little jive, maybe some big gear right there. He's going to be able to catch a nice wave. Maybe Tom Garcia right here pumping. Will have priority. And he's going to miss it and leave the opportunity, the window open for Chris. Really active with already 2 waves. Not much counting already. It's down the line. And this one landing up at the point. Set up turn. And he's going for an aerial land over. And is he going to make it over the photographer? He's going to try to recover. No. Okay, that's a completion. Now we see Tom Garcia upwind pumping to gather some speed a little bit. And he's hitting the lip. Little floater down. Nice. That's a clean ending. Smaller wave. Okay. Still need to wait for a score from Maxime. Nice. Really special right now to be able to sail Hokipa with 4 guys out. 4 guys out in those conditions. There's a lot of period in between the sets, but they do come. They do come nicely. The wind is there. The peak is filling up a bit with surfer upwind. We can see the local crowd coming in for their daily surf, daily dose, daily routine. That's the beauty of being here on Maui. Okay, what do we see on the screen? Maxime Février pumping. Are we going to zoom on Chris Freeman, pass it last wave? Okay, he just made it through. Maxime coming in with his first wave. Or not. From outside, he looks like plenty speed. So, okay, no need to rush into this, Maxime. Okay. Is he going to catch this one? No. Okay, good decision. Stay with a good position in order to be ready when the set comes. It's very nice. Okay, here we are now. Kai Kachadorian coming back all wet from his heat. Good job. Made it through with Bush Magilul. That was nice. Best wave, one of the best wave of the day. He got good.
I mean, we really had it. Turned southeast and picked up everything right before we're complaining. Like, what are we doing here?
Yes.
Not a peep out of anyone.
Okay, here we're going to be able to have some live comment from straight out from the water. Here we see in the back first, before Kai take back the mic, we see Maxime Février right here, fading in. Nice little fade with a medium-sized wave. I think he's riding 4.7 and an 86 liter board. Okay, setting up first bottom turn, little top turn with a little spray, racing down for a little section. No, it's kicking out. Okay, behind him Chris Freeman, right here, really active with his fourth wave, going for a nice little air. This one is making it inside, but no more turns. One hit wonder, Maxime Février is gonna pass. Can we see him in the back? Oh, he makes it just right. Yeah, it's in just right. Beautiful light here for this end of the day. Some drones are flying. And here, I'm passing back the mic to Rob. He's going to give us some good information concerning the weather.
So you guys, as you notice, the skies are turning a little bit more blue. It means the trade winds are coming back. It's going to push this fog out of the way. Tomorrow, when we go live, it's going to not look anything like today on how clear it is, because the fog will be pushed away by the true trade wind conditions that we're going to have for tomorrow. So we're sitting on around 22 minutes left in this heat. But we're going to have Kai in here in a little bit, and we're going to have him talk about his heat, because he was pretty stoked on the conditions for his heat. Even though it wasn't from sitting up here, it didn't look like it was easy, but Kai was handling. I'm going to let Kai tell you a little bit about it.
Well, it's the same for everybody out there, Rob, but I'll tell you what, there's some situations where you end up thinking you've got one and you don't get it, and then the entire fleet passes you, or right at the late exchange there, everybody got one, and I thought I was left out with nothing, and actually the best wave of the whole set came in. So the waves are good, and actually things really turned around wind-wise too. As light as it is, it's offshore, so now it's grooming these waves. But you see Maxime Février, fellow Simmer team rider, just kind of struggling to stay even in the spot. This is a position battle as much as anything else, Rob. I'm sure you saw it in my heat, that you just really need to be in the spot. You need to hold your ground, and you need to stay patient.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. And the funny thing about Bujma, even though he was sailing great, he kept catching his clue on his finishes of waves. But he'd already scored 2 decent-sized waves.
Yeah, Bujma knows how to connect them. I mean, he's got an upside that's absolutely world beater status, and I was lucky just to hang with him a little bit. I noticed a lot of my best waves are like one-hit wonder kind of things. But, you know, nothing to be ashamed of. And Chris Freeman looks like he's in control in the seat with Tony Garcia, if I'm not mistaken. Is that really T-Boy?
No, it's Tom Garcia.
Tom Garcia. Okay, Tony Garcia. I didn't even see him. Usually he'd be up. Shout-outs to Tony if you're in the DR. We love you, buddy. You're a former Aloha Classic event winner. You need to get back here someday. I'd love to have you back. Maxime Février keeping it in third place, kind of close, actually, with 2 high ones, 1.8.3 on 2. So he's got a little work to do. Rick Markham, Slick Rick, he's kind of, he's trolling in the channel. I think he's trying to get some mahi.
Good call there. He needs it for his new restaurant at Kainalu Lodge. So here we are sitting on a little over 20 minutes left in this heat. You got a couple competitors down on the inside. You got a couple competitors out trying to set up for a wave upwind. The wind is kind of going in and out. We'll let Kai explain the wind since he was out there. He could tell us more about it.
Southeasterly, straight on the nose. This is pretty classic when it fills in. It's just that we're looking now at those various streaks of wind. Rob, what's the actual time here, Hawaii Standard Time?
The actual time here is 4:41.
Okay, 4:41. Yes, the days are getting shorter, and that affects things too. I don't think we have much more than an hour of daylight. What, about an hour and a half tops? So 5:30, 6 o'clock, we'll lose the light. I don't expect there to be much more wind at all. It's already trending down. Maxime Ferrier, you see him on his simmer black tip there. He's just playing position. I kind of told him out there, just play it like a surfer, stay in the impact, stay right at the peak. And that's what he's done here. If he can catch this wave, somehow summon enough power, this will be a nice scoring opportunity. And this is what you also see, Rob, is in order to even catch the wave, you have to bear off.
Yes. You definitely do, and that's exactly what you did on the one set toward the end of your heat. I could see it because there's a guy upwind. I knew he wasn't going to catch a wave, and I go, Kai's just in this perfect spot.
Yeah, that turned into being in the spot, but I was kind of straight off Adolf right there, going down line kind of straight. And I turned it into a little bit of a safe ride. It's really, you don't know what the situation in the scores is. You can only base everything you're seeing on how good the sailors you're competing against are. And I know Boujma's world class. And I mean, those other two guys are really good sailors too. That was no easy second place for me at all. And I would take it any day of the week. This is not an elimination heat for anybody, but the placing and the seating matters. And in this situation here, these guys might be playing it. I mean, I think the vibe out in the lineup as a result of it not being an elimination heat, the vibe was pretty loose. We were hooting at each other. We were smiling. Everybody was... I really like the way that is. I mean, as compared to a man-on-man heat, when you're just gripping from the get-go, and it could be my best friend, but the vibe's kind of off because it becomes this every man for himself type of thing. And I mean, while it still was, we were sitting out there smiling, calling each other into waves. I know I backed out of 2 waves that normally I might have hustled someone a little bit harder for, and that almost really didn't pay off. Luckily, both times, Mana from Heaven just gave me a nice set to work with, and there it was, like no gimme at all. And this situation now, I'm sure Duncan's looking at the scorecard. I mean, is everybody on the board, Rob?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Everyone's on the board. I would let you know more, but my battery's dying on my phone.
Fair enough.
Unless you can get it.
Oh, man. Well, we won't talk about that. No. But anyway, look, this is the Aloha Classic. There's really nothing else to say other than the fact this is the Super Bowl of wave sailing. And that is what we have here at Ho'okipa Beach Park. Over 30 years of a legacy here. And, we talk about some of the classic Aloha Classics. Rob, I moved to Maui in 87. That was the year after the epic 1986 Aloha Classic held in absolutely horrifying double mast high surf. And I think there have been some comparisons made between last year and that year. However, it might have been a little slightly less horrifying. We didn't have the likes of Rich Myers getting caught by just a behemoth to win the Masters division in dramatic fashion. And as you see people just basically kind of enjoying a lazy Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday, right?
Aloha Wednesday.
Aloha Wednesday. And, you're not going to call it Big Wednesday, but it's Aloha Wednesday. And we are here in the Aloha State on the Valley Island of Maui. The 2017 Aloha Classic, IWT Finals, and PWA Qualifier. There are a couple of the PWA guys here. Moritz Maut's, sailing out on the inside here. He's one of the guys who's taken the initiative to show up on Maui and begin setting the table for his next year. Normally, you would not see him here. You'd see him in places like Pozo and Klitmiller. And I'm really happy to see him here. And I think it makes a huge statement on his level of seriousness for next year. He's telling his sponsors, there he is, going out, Moritz Mauk, I think is how you say it. Super well-rounded sailor. Not in this heat, but probably in the next one. And I saw Kai Lenny just coming in after my heat ended. He was kind of maybe looked a little like, oh, am I missing my heat? But I don't think he's aware of the situation that this next heat we're sailing is possibly the last one unless I know any differently. Okay, well, Moritz heads out. He's not going to be in this heat, but this heat's still playing out. We still got plenty to go. And tactics play a lot, but now with the level of wind, which is pales in comparison to the heat I sailed in, luck is definitely a factor right now. You just can't dictate anything. You need to put yourself in the right position and be patient and cross your fingers. And someone like Maxime Ferrier, running himself strongly into contention with one good score, but he's got a 1.83 and a 1.83 for his 2 scores. Tom Garcia in second place with 2 threes, if I'm not mistaken, and Freeman running away with it with a 3.17 and a 3.33. Actually, Maxime and Tom Garcia both just have 1 score. So while Rick Markham's got a 0.5, he's on the board. We've seen Duncan hold heats in less wind very famously, and we're going to see this heat count. I'm claiming it right now. There's just really no way I don't see this being a counting heat unless that horn blasts right now, which I do not expect to see happen. I think he's going to honor the nature of the conditions here, Rob, and he's going to wait for this to play out. This is a down moment, though.
I agree. It is a down moment. He did tell me this was definitely going to be the last heat of the day. 5 o'clock Hawaiian time we're coming up to, and I think that's what the permit allows for. In years past, we did go a little bit past it. Also depends on the conditions, too, that if we can push it a little bit more.
Sure, and I also think that number one thing that I'm really happy with Duncan is that he has honored the locals here in a huge way. We didn't even try to pretend we were running on Sunday. Just an immediate lay day, very popular decision. I was out surfing. People are asking me, the local surfers really concerned that they're about to get kicked out of the lineup for a windsurfing contest. And I was like, look, it's all good. We try to. And, sometimes we're in a little bit more of an urgent situation. Now, on our screen here, Slick Rick Markham, definitely on a nice wave here for Rick. He's crisscrossing across, trying to get himself in position to run for a nice score here. Freeman's behind him. Now, double fade for Markham. That shows years of experience to have that kind of savvy to run the double fade. Judges take note because that was a really stylish entry in his wave ride, and that's pretty aggressive for Rick to slap that lip. That's definitely going to better his first score. Here comes Chris Freeman, locomotive from Green Trees all the way through the point. Let's see if he makes some contact here. Freeman, Freebird, and he's down. That would have had like one of those cartoon character noises. Hey, Porchella, don't leave Rob hanging. He's trying to high-five you. Thank you. All right. Hey, Franny.
Where's your harness?
It's next to our board, but this is the last heat. You're not going. This is.
No, I just want to warm up just to see.
Yeah, if you want to try my stuff. It's on my rig, but I already walked it up.
You did?
Kind of brutal, dude.
Tell everybody.
I just want
Okay, hang on. After this heat, we'll talk. Just go up by my car. Fran Porchella frothing to windsurf. I couldn't be a happier guy. Talking about the program and, Kai Lenny's movie, Paradigm Lost. I saw the premiere. And, we're talking about the likes of Jamie O'Brien and Slater mixed in with the likes of Levi Siver and Brazinho. Along with, Casper Seinfeld and the best paddle boarders. And, really didn't even scratch the surface too much on the other programs. The thing about Kai Lenny's movie, Paradigm Lost, that I like the most is that it really displays the program. And here on Maui, the amount of sports you can do in one day, the same day, is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's an example we can all follow. I remember when kiteboarding came to prominence, and it was this segregated thing where you either were a kiter or a windsurfer or a surfer, and it wasn't the right idea. There is too much fun to be had doing all the sports. That's the bottom line. And so seeing Franny frothing to windsurf, it's just awesome. It means things have come full circle. And while he's concentrating on the Big Wave World Tour and everything, he sees a good day at Hokipa. He wants to go shred. Bottom line, you guys. Have fun above all else, in and out of competition, on and off the water. Smile at your neighbor. Show some aloha. There are ambassadors of aloha all over here. And, I look at guys like Franny and Zane Schweitzer, for instance. They carry the aloha spirit, and they know what's up. Okay, Maxime Fevrier, he's got himself a wave. And there you see him on the Blue Simmer Blacktip, and he's worked hard just to get this thing, and you can bet he's going to shred it to pieces. He's going to give it everything he's got. Sets up his turn. This thing's going to wall up. Nice high line for Maxime. He's going to have to get under the lip. Nice air, and completes it. Maxime has followed the IWT in its entirety, if I understand correctly. I am not sure what his ranking is, but that score right there might really be pretty important to him. This is one of the guys who every heat matters here. This contest is going to dictate his year-end ranking. This is the final of the IWT Tour with 10 minutes remaining in what is about certainly going to be our last heat of the day. Let me just ask Judge Duncan Coombs about that. Last heat of the day, yes. Nodding accordingly. And rightfully so, because we really have milked the cow pretty dry, man. Let's give it back to the surfers here. Let's definitely say we did the absolute most we could do today.
I agree. We had unexpectedly a full day. I'm glad to see it. I personally wasn't expecting it, like I said earlier.
Oh, no, you were calling it off.
I was ready to go watch the Dodgers, and apparently I'm glad I didn't.
Win, lose, or draw, Rob, let me tell you, it's part of the journey. And, you know, we all take a loss for our lumps, and it's not about, you know, any sport. Here's Tom Garcia as he sails. And I'm pretty stoked he's sailing in the pro bracket. You know, Tom's one of our local guys here, and he's mixing it right up. It's awesome that he's doing it. Nice high top turn, but he gets hung up and dragged to Davy Jones's locker. And you can hear the thud. That's him hitting the reef. He's just getting pounded, you guys. He still hasn't come up. Almost a two-wave hold down. Brutal.
Just like Piahi.
Just not like Piahi, trust me. Nothing even close to the ragdoll treatment that you can experience at the world's gnarliest, biggest wave. You know, I just want to give a couple shout-outs to our fellow islanders here. I want to give a shout-out to my boy Howie Green on Kauai. And, of course, over there on Oahu, I want to shout out my boy Mike Slattery, HSA, Mr. Backyards, and, of course, Craig Yester, and Looper Villager, and all the Yardbirds. Rush, Randall, Brush, Handle. How's it going, brah? Look forward to seeing you guys. I think Yester might show up a little later. Here comes a nugget set. Rick Markham's worked his way into second. Maxime Fervier, I don't think he's gotten his second score, but this is going to be his third score, and this is by far one of the nicest waves in the heat. Look at the nice sly S-turn entry angle he's employing here. Maxime, multi-tack specialist, IWT mainstay for the year, stays nice and safe and ahead of this wave, but definitely gives it that a big lip crack. Maxime, très bon, mon ami. That was a nice cutback. And up top, you can kind of see a super nugget coming in. Anybody who's in this heat sailing out, who just rode ahead high waves, kicking themselves, because this is just a two-wave set of goodness coming in. Rob, take me through it.
I would, but there's no one riding it yet. But we do see lines coming out the back. Trying to figure out where all our competitors are. They look like they're downwind.
Let's ghost ride this one. Look at that lip. Boom. Boom. A Ghost Rider did good. He got a two-hit combo on that one. And I mean, you know, who knows what the lost souls of who keep us past Brad Lewis and Angus Chater might have been ripping that one. We just can't see them, but they're here in spirit. And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but Tom Garcia's getting massacred on the rocks, you guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, Maxime Fervier with his second score, the 377, has taken second place, but he hasn't even gotten his third score yet. So Tom Garcia kind of knocked into fourth place. Rick Markham in third. Didn't see much from Chris Freeman either, but the person who has everything to gain right now is Maxime, who might be taking first place after his third score drops. I'm not sure what they're going to give that, but I remember it being a pretty stout lip hit after a little bit of highline trim. Chris Freeman's going to have a lot to say about it, but he's still got to catch the wave. And we've got 6.5 minutes running. These heats last a long time, Rob. It's an eternity in a sense, depending on where your position in the heat is. It's an eternity if you're in the lead. If you happen to be scraping the barrel to get into potential contention, it's you know, it goes by quickly. There goes Freeman. Chris Freeman on his Goya rig. Chris Freeman's an aggressive sailor, and he also takes notes on the other sailors. He's kind of a mixture of a lot of different styles. I think he kind of emulates Morgan almost the most, though he's got a little bit of his own thing going too. Chris Freeman, one-time head judge on the IWT Tour as well, and none other than Maxime Fervier vying in at the H-Poco point section. If he can just fade this and get a little more critical, double fade. Judges take note, double fade off the bottom, running away from it a little bit, but means business at the point and doesn't let us down with a big old basher and makes it. So Maxime seems to be gaining momentum here. He's going for the board 360 in front of the rocks. I wouldn't really recommend that to anybody. The judges might not really like that. But before that score even dropped, très bon Maxime. A plus, you are in first place. And by a fair margin, actually. With 5 minutes and counting now, Maxime's taken first place in this heat. He has clawed his way into first place. I'm very happy to see what he's patiently been able to bring himself into contention here. And like I said, He's one of the few guys in this actual event who's done the entire tour. Maxime, for all I know, might be in contention to win the tour with a very solid result here. It's got to play out differently. One of his main competitors for that title, Boujma Guillol, in my heat, certainly with his first place in that heat, has something to say about it. It's everything to play for here. And if you look outside, a really, really nice set's coming in. People are standing still, but it's a nugget set. Oh, man, look at this line. A very, very fine-looking wave coming in here. It's got a long line on it. Nobody caught it. Not the first one anyway, but look at, I'm just going to stay quiet. Look at Hokipa do its thing. Oh, Rob, look at that wave. Oh, that thing just feathered down the line. And who's on the Gastro, Rob? Non-competitor. If Ed Angula was the race director, he'd fine that guy $500 and kick him out. Oh, and he burned a surfer. Well, you know. No, he's just coming in kind of in a glorified way. And he got a little run on the live cast. Let's give him credit for that. He's not getting fined, but Ed Angula would have fined him. And so would have Alex Aguirre. You would have paid for it with those two race directors I previously mentioned. Big Al would have fined him $1,000. Yeah. Probably would have had his baseball bat like, hey, you want to play some baseball? Classic. I mean, some of the more famous race director stories, Rob, like Alex Aguirre was definitely one of the ones who, you know, showed up at like 5:30 in the morning and paced around and definitely didn't listen to any of the sailors in terms of like, oh, don't run this seat or no. You know, he had his agenda, and as a 3-time and still the only 3-time winner at Hokipa, Alex Aguirre did not take any crap because he knew exactly what he was doing and what he wanted to see. And, you know, another really good race director, the late Brian McGain, was a pretty classic one.
I got a great story on Brian because one of the Aloha Classics, it was huge. It may have been the 86 Aloha Classic, but he's the race. This is Phil McGain's dad. He had these competitors come up to him, and I won't say where they're from, but they didn't have an American or Australian accent. They go, Mr. McGain, we think it's too dangerous to run the heats. We think we should cancel for today. And Brian McGain turns around like, quit crying, you babies, and get your butts out there.
I'll knock your block off down with my friend from Uladula, mate. Straight to Boggo Road with ya. Straight to Boggo Road.
Quit crying, you babies.
Yeah, quit crying. Another race director that might not have been that popular here was Wim Thijs. And I'm going to tell the story after this brief exchange here with Rick Markham about Bjorn Dunkerbeck versus 15-year-old Josh Angulo. Right after Rick Markham's wave right here. Well, we're looking at the guy going upwind. Anyway, this is what happened. Okay, we got Tom Garcia, who's trying to get Chip in on the H. Boko point here. He's trying to do some business. And we've got 1 minute and 40. Tom Garcia kind of out ahead of it, not going to be one of his better rides. Maxime Fevrier kicking out. Okay, I'm clear to tell this story. Josh Angulo was 15 years old. Bjorn Dunkerbeck was the world champion many times over, highly regarded, and, you know, trying to gain more credibility in the Hokipa arena. It was a very questionable situation in terms of it being very light wind and pretty small. But this heat played out. It was Josh Angulo, again, at 15 years old against Bjorn Dunkerbeck. And as this heat progressed, Josh was handing it to Bjorn. I mean, handing it to him. He was winning the heat, and with 15 seconds to go, Wim Thijs panics and goes, call the heat, turn off the scores. And he calls the heat with 15 seconds to go and robs Josh of the opportunity. And it was the most controversial thing you've ever seen, ever. I mean, ever. And Josh, you know, young enough to care, but not be able to be too angry. He was still kind of a smaller guy. If it had been Josh Angulo, like full grown, I don't even want to know. Here's Maxime Fevrier kind of commanding this heat at this point. I'm extremely proud of Maxime's performance today. And he's going to give us the Patrie de France. Kind of. Yeah. That wasn't really the Patrie de France, but what it was a nice statement that I'm going to hit stuff. 15 seconds to go. Chris Freeman might have a little bit of an answer to Maxime. We'll see if he can pull off the double goiter. No. Here comes Freeman. No. Under the lip goiter. But on the outside, with the heat having blown, is that Tom Garcia? No. Let me make sure. Anyway, Rob, high five. Okay, shake hands. What's up, people out there? Thank you for joining us at the 2017 Aloha Classic. If I'm not mistaken, that's the last heat of the day. We feel kind of like, we've, been pretty productive here. I feel like this was well worth doing. Of course, because I had a fun heat, I'm saying that. If I, swam around, it would have been a little different. But, that's the finicky of me and how it goes. Rob, you didn't get to sail yet, but you're going to be doing some sailing. The pro women, they kind of got the short end of the stick. It didn't really get too good for the pro women. A couple heats were okay. That first one was a little squeaky. These have both been kind of, just to get the screws going, to get the, the live cast, set the tone, set the scale. I definitely had a really fun heat. I'm recounting that was probably the best conditions of the day.
Oh, I agree.
I would have thought that was just like, as good as it was going to get. I was really surprised, and isn't just how I planned it, right? Anyway, here we are reflecting on day one and everything to play for here. It's a good thing that Duncan went today. I'm glad if you guys had a good time watching that this was, at least worth watching. Thank you for staying up if you're over there in Europe. And one more time to thank our sponsors, Maui County and Eternal Riders and Dakine. Those are our mains. And we've got a bunch of local sponsors like Cafe Mambo, Casanova, Deep Relief. If you want to get on the program, get on the Deep Relief program. Talk to Paige Alms and Ian Walsh about that program. Won the Piahi Challenge. That's major. I would love to have Ian Walsh and Paige come here. We already had Percella talking some big wave talk. That's just going to be the tip of the iceberg. I'd love to bring some other people up. Well, it depends on the situation of the timing and who's in what mood, right? You don't catch people right after they lose a heat. They're probably not going to come up here. But anyway, Nalukai Lodge, Kuau Store, North Shore Maui Rent-A-Car. I've got one of those cars right now. It's a great deal. Rock and Brews, Chinook, Mama's Fish House. Our tour sponsors, Ezzy, Simmer Style, Sign Solution, iWindsurf, Nash, Pritchard Windsurfing, Ronston, Streamlined, Solo Sports, Windsurfing Now, and Wind and Waves, which is spelled WNDWVS. Wind and Waves. And that's kind of what we had today. We're on Wind and Waves.
What a day.
What a day. And, it's over. I mean, that's kind of in a way. These days go by so quick, dude. I mean, like, we were here kind of gripping 11, 10 o'clock and trying to rig them up. In the immortal words of Jimmy Hepp, you rig them up, and then next thing you know, you're on the heat. We sit here and talk all day, and it just flies by. But that's it. That's day one of competition here at the 2017 Aloha Classic. And I think that you've heard enough of us right now. You'll have a recap video. Thank you for the live stream crew here for doing such a great job. We'll talk a little bit more about them, but thanks for coming through in the clutch and coming from Portland and getting this done. We really appreciate the opportunity to continue the live stream here. And we hope you enjoyed the show, and stay tuned. We've got a forecast that looks close to 4 or 5 star. Maybe not tomorrow. We'll see what plays out. But there's wind on the horizon here on the beautiful Valley Island of Maui. So Flycatcher and Funk signing off. Aloha.